Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going out there? Thinker St. James here, and parting is such sweet sorrow because it is the last week of the Contender series for the year. Week 10 is here. TJF is here too. How you doing, TJF? WTJF indeed. You don't get to self-apply that. I have to apply that, but I appreciate the W Yama. Absolute true sentiments going both ways on that. So we're both right in the end. Appreciate you, brother. And yeah, I am definitely having that bittersweet feeling cuz I think that it's great that we're going to have some fights tonight, obviously. We're actually getting the Alpha 6 fight card for the last episode of the Contender series, not the Soy 5 card or the 5 fight card. No, we're getting 6 fights tonight, but that's it for the Contender series for the year. So that kind of sucks, you know? What do you think of the fights that have been announced? A couple of really, really good ones. Yeah, I'm amazed with Merab, man. I mean, look, we all know Merab is forging a path to ultimate greatness, fight over fight. But the fact that he's coming back this quickly in the turnaround is just nuts. I mean, I thought for sure that we were going to be seeing him versus Piotr maybe in February, something like that. But no, before the end of the year. What is he? He's going to fight 4 times this year with this fight coming up? That's insane. This dude is literally the machine, really putting the stamp on the greatness, the stamp on the goatness is being placed by Merab. So that's insane. The rest of that card is also really good. That's a really solid card to end the year. I was hearing a little bit of conversation about the Sean Brady versus Michael Morales fight. That's one I think is a little more nuanced. Not that it's not a great fight. It's an excellent fight. But people were saying, it is kind of bullshit for Sean Brady to have to fight for not the title again. You'd think that by now he'd be in title shot range. And it really comes down to the whole situation with JDM and Islam challenging at welterweight. I see what people are saying, but I think that what you end up with when you are of the caliber of Islam Makhachev is that's what takes precedent. So, sorry, Sean Brady, you're not winning the same way that Islam is winning. And you're not trying to do the same things that Islam is trying to do. So, that would be my answer to that. Get through Michael Morales, I think, is what I'd say to Sean Brady, sadly. I mean, you want the title shot. People are saying, what if Brady loses now? It's all of that work down the drain. That's every fight. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, except I do recognize that he has done enough to probably have earned the title shot. But then again, so did Bilal for many, many years. So did Leon Edwards for many years, too. Took them a lot longer than it probably should have to get their shot because of the nature of the sport. So Islam doing what Islam's going to do, and you might end up having to fight him if he ends up winning that fight. I think a lot of people, for some reason, are not thinking that Islam has much of a chance against JDM. Insane to me. Now, we did just last night on the podcast have a full conversation about Joel Alvarez not looking as deadly at welterweight as he did at lightweight. So could that be a similar situation? That's going to be one that we're going to have to find out about. But it's Islam, dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. You're trying to compare apples and oranges with Islam and any other fighter, as far as I'm concerned. Granted, I feel a lot of what have you done for me lately when it comes to this sport. I think that people, if you haven't seen someone fight in X amount of months, the perception just automatically changes in your mind. I think that the whole situation with Armin / Renato Moicano in Islam's last fight taints people's opinion a little bit. So I don't know. I think that people are kind of not remembering that Islam Makhachev, in my estimation, I don't care what the actual numbers say on the board, is still the pound for pound best fighter in the world right now. So we'll see. But that's a little bit of a long winding road about some of those fights anyway. If there's any other ones that you want to talk about, let me know which ones you're feeling. We getting that one guy that fought already this season. Yes, Freddie Vidal. Freddie Vidal is your featured fight, actually. Kind of amazing that that's the case. I don't know how you go from being a mid-level dude and eking out a victory to being the featured fight, but I guess it's the extra fight. It's the add-on fight. So he closes it out. Hopefully Freddie Vidal will be the standout performance of tonight. Merab also isn't fighting Cans as well, maybe besides O'Malley, but still. Look, man, you can't call Sean O'Malley a can. I got a lot of opinions about Sean O'Malley, but he's certainly not a can. He's just not the wrestler that Merab is, which is crazy to think about, too, because Sean O'Malley, was it Takanori Gomi that he ended up beating in a grappling competition? It was some old school UFC fighter that's like was a pretty high level grappler, if I recall. Yushin Okami, maybe. I don't remember. But either way, my point is that Sean O'Malley has pretty decent BJJ. It's just the wrestling's not there, and that's an important distinction. You know, the BJJ is only as good as your wrestling base will allow it to be. A lot of times, because Merab, as a wrestler, he'll just positionally switch you to whatever he wants, up, down, up, down. I'll never forget the Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman Dolidze fight with the amount of times that Fluffy took him down and then told him to get back up. I feel like Merab does the same thing in rapid succession over the course of 5 rounds every fight. And so it's like, if you can't get yourself into the grappling exchanges, then what good is your grappling? The wrestling takes the driver's seat. So, Sean O'Malley can still knock you out, and that's obviously a fine skill set, but the champ has a name at bantamweight. I don't mind the Brady versus Morales fight. Yeah, no, I don't mind it either. I think it's a great fight. I think it's actually a fantastic stylistic fight. I just understand the criticism based on Sean Brady's resume at this point. And also, Shavkat is now out again. Shavkat is out for, I think, another 10 months or something like that is what I had heard, which is like, how the fuck, dude? You're getting into Dominic Cruz territory with that being the case. I mean, the guy was injured for so long, comes back, has the Ian Gary fight, injured again, and then injured again. Like, bro, you're letting your best years slip through your fingers, man. I mean, obviously, it's out of his control. I'm not trying to dogpile on him, but it just sucks. Similar to when Poirier fought BSD. Yeah, fought BSD and got the title shot after that. Name recognition is really what's going to happen with a lot of this, and name value. Islam is doing something that up until very recently was like an unheard of thing, trying to go for double champ status. It was extremely rare. We're in an era where it's a lot more common now. But before, it was a very, very small group of people that had ever achieved double champ status or even tried for it. So, again, it's like, what value do you bring to the promotion as far as the eyeballs go? And Islam Makhachev versus JDM, that draws a lot of water in this town, to quote a very doodly film. Do you see any fighters from this season of Contender Series being a future top 3 or champ? I mean, that Martinetti guy, also a bantamweight. I mean, Martinetti and Vologdin, we talked a lot about it yesterday. Both those dudes have a plenty high ceiling as far as I'm concerned. That Ecuadorian chin of Martinetti holding up, and the volume striking there as well. I think he's going to fit in very nicely at bantamweight. Vologdin is a tough motherfucker, but it's hard to say what the ceiling is for him aside from just being tough. Other than that, I'd say that probably some of the women might actually have a decent shot. Four, or two women's fights, four contracts out of that. So I'd be keeping an eye on some of them. It's hard to say with the guys that just get straight knockouts early. You know what I mean? Like the guys that come in and just take people's heads off, it's fun to see. And of course you love it. But at the same time, it's hard to anticipate what their future trajectory is going to look like because all you're seeing is, yeah, he can get a knockout against X questionability factor on the competition level. You know what I mean? You never know what the level of the guy that's getting knocked out was and how is that power going to translate to who they're fighting in the organization. And what does the rest of their skill set look like? It's the same thing with quick submissions. Anytime that you get a quick finish on the Contender series, we all clap and get no information. Hey, Checkmate, what's up, brother? The man, the myth, the legend. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Alpha, Chad, Checkmate. Also, would Islam versus Ilya be the biggest fight in history? Maybe not in history, but certainly in the current era, I would say it is. Absolutely. That's a collision course. The fact that we were denied that fight because Islam wanted to go up to welterweight is one of the great unfortunatenesses, if that is a word. It is super unfortunate that that is the case. I mean, I was certain that they were going to try to make that happen. And that also brings up the point that a lot of people were kind of rumbling about, that perhaps Team Khabib doing a little bit of the classic Floyd Mayweather tactic of being rather selective about their navigation of their sport. Because, you know, you heard Khabib talking all of this stuff about Ilya, say, oh, you know, well, I mean, we want to fight a real lightweight, you know, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was all of these different, different excuses to discredit the fight with Ilya, like Ilya wasn't the biggest fight that you could possibly make or the best challenge for the number one pound for pound in the world. So I'm a little bit on the fence about that, but I would actually lean probably closer to that being true than not. Hey, Dagestan has a mystique, or at least had it for a long time. The Dagestani mystique, this is one of the bigger narratives in the sport right now that I don't think a lot of people are really talking about as much, probably somewhere, but the fact that only a few short years ago, the Dagestani mystique was everything. Oh, who is going to be the person or people who can figure out the Dagestani style and make it so that they're not so dominant on top of the world? You know, all of these champions from that region of the world. Now you look at the shakeup of the champs, completely different. It dissipates. So I would think that they're probably trying to hold on to a kernel of something that's already slipping out of their hands. If that's the case, then fucking make that fight happen. Make that fight happen. But Islam going up to fight JDM, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what he's even going to do? What happens when these double champs end up getting double champ? Are they trying to defend both belts? I suspect not. And plus, that's terrible for your body, by the way. Not for nothing. I mean, you know, obviously that's one of the lesser concerns for a lot of people. But from the analytical side of my brain, it's like you're having to put all that muscle mass on to go up the weight class, drop it all down in a pretty unhealthy fashion generally. I mean, you know, there's a lot of methods that you can do to kind of fluctuate your body weight that way, but none of them are very good for your body. Granted, these guys are in insane shape, so whatever. But, to think that they'd be going up and down to try to defend two belts is really insane. So I would suspect that you get double champ and then you have to vacate one. But either way, we'll see. All will be revealed after this JDM versus Islam fight. But I think that fight really does need to happen. And I think everybody feels the same way deep down. It's just, you know, the organization has to do what Islam wants because Islam is the man. Have you thought about doing matchmaking vids for each event? Because that'd be fire. Matchmaking vids, how? What do you mean? Like fantasy matchmaking? I have seen people do that on Facebook. I'm not good at that kind of thing. I could, I'd have to have like the entire roster, like, you know, on a spreadsheet or something so that I could like pick them out and be like, oh, you know, that'd be cool for that reason. I guess it'd be like, could be fun, but it's not really the style of thing that I think that I'd be good at. I do appreciate the idea though. I mean, these are the kind of things that like if Yama did like take off and I had like way more time to devote to the channel, I could be doing stuff like that. That would be awesome. But for now, you know, I'm pretty content covering Australian gang violence and, you know, all the weird and wonderful of the sport. Thought I'd ask, but you know, I'd watch any vid at this point. TJF, you are the man. If I was at the Vitz King's house and had the soundboard in front of me, you'd be getting the goat drop for that one. So since I don't have it, I will recreate it for you. Congratulations. You are the goat. There you go. Appreciate you always, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, that I think that's more in my wheelhouse when it comes to the style of stuff that I do is like, that's okay. I'm going in a couple of directions, but you know, I cover some of the weirder stuff in the sport. You know, the culture of the sport is what I cover generally, aside from what we do on the podcast. But that is why I love what we're doing on the Friday streams now. If you have the ability to be around for the Friday streams, if not, you know, watch the VODs or whatever. I'm putting out clips from it too, so some of the funnier stuff will get out through that. But like the Friday free-for-alls are really where it's at, because that is all of the wackiness from the week synthesized down into one live stream with all of you know, the benefit of me and Chase kind of being able to be outside of the box of the fights themselves. That's where that stemmed from. Chase and I talking and me saying, you know, look, it's like, it sucks because I love last week's fights. You know, last week's fights is like one of my favorite things to do. Every Monday, I'm so happy to be able to talk about the fights. But since we go so deep on the fights, there's no real room to talk about like the other cultural stuff in the sport. Like, you know, all the goofiness with this guy, what's going on with Raja, you know, like that kind of stuff. Like we don't have a lot of bandwidth because we're already going for 2.5 to 3 hours most Mondays. So I was like, you know, there's so much fun stuff, or yeah, fun, interesting, crazy, wild, all of those things. There's so much stuff that we don't get to cover on the podcast. Like it'd be nice if we had somewhere to do that, and that's where the free for all came from. So I going off of how it was last Friday, man, like, you know, it was in our terms a relatively compact one. I think we went for 2 hours on the nose. So in a 2-hour stream, you get 10 topics, whatever we end up doing, and you get caught up on all of the interesting stuff for the week. So I think that that's really a good use of Chase and mine's talents. You know what I mean? That's really what it all started from. And obviously I got to get back to doing the actual Yama show at some point. That would be good. I started writing the episode for the last pay-per-view, and then it's just time, man. It's just time. It's time that gets away from me. What I've come to realize is that I need to knuckle down on Sunday morning. You know, like for the pay-per-views, Sunday morning, when I get home from the Vitz King's house, I need to just sit down and blurt out all of my thoughts. So then I can go through and edit it into an actual, like, actionable video at some point, because that's the problem is, like, you know, I mean, I like to think of myself as somewhat of a quick wit, but like the jokes aren't always like bang 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 bang, you know. I like to put a little bit of thought into the humor of the show, and because of that, it sometimes just gets away from me. So it sucks, because I had some really good stuff for this last Yam episode, and I went back and looked at it, and like there's nothing to say that I couldn't just do it now. I mean, but I feel like with the nature of this sport, the longer that you wait, the more that people are like, man, you're still talking about Alex winning again? Like, bro, that was so long ago. It's like, was it? It was 2 weeks ago. But in this sport, it moves fast. Rafayuski! Hey! Obrigado, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Dinner on the stove, dry herb vaporizer with full charge, and I have a Coke Zero in the fridge, a turkey in every pot, and a cap in every ass. Ready for the Contender Series. Indeed you are. Well, we have 6 fights coming up tonight. As I stated, we got the Chad card to end this thing out. God, I'm sad that the Contender Series is coming to an end, but I'm happy to be here watching it with you fine people, including Rafaiuski. Shout out to Brazil. Sure, we got a couple of Brazilians representing today. You must have, Rafaiuski, I meant to ask you, we think we talked about this. You did not go to the Rio card, right? I think you said that you're not close to Rio, but either way, you must have been pretty goddamn happy with last week as far as all of the great strides made by wonderful Brazilian fighters in your home country. Rip episode. It'd be cool to have a couple of normal style jokes. Norm style? You talking about Norm the Norm? Because that is a very base take. R.I.P. to the greatest of all time. Miss Norm all the time. Super happy. Love Charles, and I'm always happy to see that guy win. Yeah. I had kind of a mixed reaction to it. Not because I dislike Charles. I just feel like this is somewhat of a prolonging of an era that might be coming to an end, I guess, is kind of the summation of what I said last night on the podcast. Because I like Charles, too. Charles is one of the genuine good guys of the sport. Respectful, really super respectful. Goes over and shakes all of the team's hands before the fight. Fights like a maniac when he's in there and it's all clicking for him. A good guy outside of the cage. All of the family men, all the things you want out of a great guy. Charles is that. I just don't think that we're going to see him holding gold again. And even though he's not super old, it's like this sport goes in cycles. And I feel like the Charlie success arc had already been achieved. Like Charles has seen everything in this sport. He saw he got cut from the UFC and he was a champion in the UFC. That is an insanely rare thing. Think about that. How many times has that happened in the history of the UFC where you've got a guy that lost a number of fights to the point that they cut him from the organization, comes back and becomes a champion? That's an insane story in and of itself. So I am very respectful and conscious of that. I think that the issue is that he has completed the hero's journey when it comes to this sport. Can he still win? Obviously, he can still win. We just saw it. I don't know. It feels like we're prolonging an inevitable downfall that I don't particularly want to see. You know what I mean? Charlie, if he retired last night, I would have been like, beautiful. I would have been like, that would have been such a nice way to go out. Get a solid win, because it really was a very solid win. You get a solid win, put those gloves down right next to Jose Aldo, who did it earlier in the evening. Come on. That would have been poetic. But now we're just going to have to see him continuously go up against the middle of the elite. I would say it's not mid-level, high-level guys, but it's like in the elite of that division, it's the middle right underneath the champ. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be a little bit of a carousel. We're going to see if he can actually do it again against the other guys that are in that group. And then it just fades away. This would have been a beautiful way to do it. He fucking gets a win in his hometown or home country, whatever, gets a win at home, retires on the same night as another legend of the sport. They were carrying him in the crowd. He could have crowd surfed after that win. The amount of love he gets in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Feel me? Would have been beautiful. But now we just got to see him circle a little bit. And that, I think, is unfortunate. So I'm very happy for him, but What's the future look like, you know? All good things got to come to an end. Exactly. We're finding that out with Charles. We're finding that out with 2025's Contender series, which I'm very excited about. And we have 5 minutes until that gets started up here. So make sure that you've got your snacks and beverages, just like the homie Rafaiuski, doing it big in the country of Brazil. Will he get fined or suspended for going into the crowd, or is he fine? In Brazil, I don't know if the commission cares about that kind of thing as much. Plus, if anybody needs to get fined, it's fucking Osiris Maya, the referee. So if Charlie gets fined, he's definitely not going to get suspended. Guarantee you that there's no suspension coming from that. He, you know, in the States, he would get fined for going over the cage, but I doubt that Brazil is caring like that. So, yeah, it would be criminal if he gets fined for anything that he did when he went out there and conducted himself professionally, fought his fight, won it, and then celebrated, as opposed to Osiris Maya, who fucking stopped action midway after a legal strike and brought in the doctor. This is refereeing greatness. I think the Chase actually said it correct. This was refereeing magic that Osiris Maya was making happen in Rio de Janeiro. So congratulations, Vicente Luque. You didn't get knocked out because of Osiris Maya. I have to punctuate his name because of the way he punctuated the timeout when he put the T into Joel Alvarez's face, like he really did hit him with an illegal strike. Even if it had been an eye poke, look, eye pokes happen. Osiris Maya went time and then pushed Joel Alvarez off to his corner like eye pokes don't happen. Oh, and it wasn't an eye poke. Fucking joke. Good Lord. Fucking clown shoes. You were expecting him to retire on Saturday? Again, like I said, man, it would have been, it certainly would have felt correct. It would have felt the same way that Robbie Lawler's felt. You know what I mean? You get a nice win. You get a good send-off. Crowd was eating him alive, loving him so much. It would have been beautiful. We got 3 minutes until the Contender series starts. Keeping myself honest over here as I get passionate about the foils and foibles of Osiris Maya. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. We're caught up. We're getting ready here. 2 minutes now. Where is my feed? Do I have to refresh? Of course I do. ESPN, I cannot wait to get away from you. We're going to have to see how Chad Paramount Plus handles all of these things. But either way, we are almost at start screen, and there it is. So we are locked in, people. Contender series starting in 2 short minutes. Less than that even. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it very much. Also, sorry for not interacting during last UFC event, but I left your stream open on my desktop. Rafaiuski, based goat move. That is fantastic, brother. No problem at all. I appreciate the support. And anytime that you can interact, you know that we love talking with you. If you are too busy or too doing something else, the fact that you are keeping the Yama with you, it gives you +5 XP points anytime that you have Yama open. If it's in your purview, if it is in your surrounding area, you are elevating yourself and you're elevating my stream. Together we rise. So you are all good, bro. Thank you for the support, and I'm glad that you're here now. But just out of curiosity, what were you? I mean, obviously you were watching the fights, but did you have like people over, or like what was the reason that you were, or were you just too glued to it? Which is perfectly fine because those fights were really good. Thoughts on the new Joji song after waiting 3 years for new music? I have mixed feelings about Joji. I think that his music is good, but slightly overrated for what he does. And I'm not trying to hate because, I mean, that dude, is an OG of the content creation game, so I got a lot of respect for him in general. I thought Filthy Frank was not my style of content, but I still respect it. He's a hard worker, obviously. I'm not a fan of any time that artists make their fans wait that long for stuff. It's like if you have an audience that really wants what you do, I think it is the right thing to give it to them. But that's not my decision to make. That's not the fans' decision to make. That's his decision, and maybe he needed that time. So, all right, first shot of this guy punching the heavy bag is the Sync Point Contender series is underway. No, his music is not bad. Joji is your goat, brother. No, yeah. Look, I'm not hating on him though. Like I said, it's a personal opinion. I don't think it's bad music. I just think that like I've heard the style of thing that he does from other people and preferred it from other people. But like, it's not. If you enjoy it, by all means, go like that. I think that's a much more acceptable music artist to be a fan of as opposed to Netspend. At least his music actually has some like soul to it. It's just that I'm watching the UFC in my living room and my computer is in another room. Fantastic reasoning, my friend. No problem whatsoever. That is A-okay. A-okay, Rafayuski. I hope that you enjoyed the event. Don't diss Netspend, brother. I have to. As a rapper, I have to. I'm not dissing him specifically. I'm dissing the style of stuff that he does because it's just not. It almost is not music to me. It's like somebody mumbling over a beat, trying to. When you're on. When you're bowling as a kid and you have those little like the blockers that block the gutter. That's what it feels like. It feels like a person who is just barely staying within the acceptable range of the beat to the point where it's almost like spoken word. You told your coworker to listen to Netspend? Well, now there's going to be two people telling you that you have a terrible opinion about music. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I'm joking, brother. I'm joking. But I really don't understand how you can enjoy it. And it's not, like I said, I like the beat, at least for the one song that I listened to. I think I listened to two. And I thought the beats were pretty cool. They were kind of like distorted and stuff. I enjoyed that. But just the lack of bars and the lack of flow, which is kind of like, I don't know, 100% of what rap is. Like, maybe I'll give you 85% of the beat, 75%, 25% beat. But come on, man. I mean, like it's a lot of what hip hop is your bars and your flow, and he has very little of those things. Rolly's Chihuahua. I've seen that name in the comments before. Yama, are you going over 10 minutes or under Schultz Min Yang? We talking about Zhang Min Yang? Min Zhang. Is that boxing? What are we talking about with that? Appreciate you checking in with it, but over under 10 minutes for... Oh, are you talking about... you talking about back in the day? What's his name? The Dave Schultz? I'm a little lost, Rolly. You're gonna have to... Oh, yeah, well, okay. Got you. Your Sigma, I don't know why it's saying my name's Rollies. Yeah, so for some reason recently, and I don't know why this is, it changed on Restream. It used to put your like username up there, and then recently it just switched over to people's @tags, like their handles. Why is Michael Chiesa on commentary for this guy? They really are. They're really scraping. They're really scraping for talent on the commentary team. We've got the Blinky guy. We've got Senko, as always, of course. Senko, the GOAT of the Contender series, and Michael Chiesa. This is a random assortment. Yeah, but I don't understand why it changed. But for some reason it decided randomly that only for YouTube that it's the @tags now. So I don't know why that is. But I've seen Rolly's Chihuahua and Sigma before in the comment section of some of the videos, so maybe, I have no idea, bro. I don't know how all this stuff works. They might have changed the API. Either way, I'll have to remember that you're Sigma now. For Wes Schultz and Minjang on here, you know that I don't know, bro. You know I don't know. For you and anyone else who doesn't know the Yama code, which is in effect for tonight, forgot to say that, but for the finale, you know I had to put money on all of my dogs. The Yama Contender Series Credo. Short money, straight bets, all dogs. And you know I did that. You know I did that 6 times. So, under probably is what my gut would say, considering that it's the Contender Series. You got a $200 payout from your bonus? Let's go. All dogs. Yes, TJF, exactly. All dogs go to heaven on the Yama channel. Let's get it. You got to hit 5 for 5. Hey, fingers crossed, brother. I know that you've been having mixed results this year. You know what has been having mixed to positive results is the Yama Contender Series Credo. We'll see if we can make some cash tonight. Last week, not so much. A lot of favorites won last week. But this week, you know how this goes. W gambling addiction. I need this. On the real, if you have a gambling problem, seek help. Never gamble more than you can afford to lose. Okay, come on, let's keep it in perspective around here. Over and unders, not fighters. I spammed unders. Over. I mean, under is going to be always the safer bet on the Contender Series, I would say. Under is like a Contender Series is the one time that under is the most safe. You know? Savage Arrogance. See, this is going to throw everything off, these fucking @ handles. Arrogant Savage. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. I got to figure out if this is something I can change. I don't know if this is something that I can change in the settings. Appearance. Show, no, colorized author names. I'm sorry. I'm just going over to the chat, like the chat thing, the settings real quick, just to see if there's like a way that I can fix this, but it doesn't look like it, sadly. Does not look like I have the ability to, doesn't look like I have the ability to change the username thing. That might have been something that was a YouTube thing. Maybe I can change it on YouTube. I'll check that after the stream. Because, yeah, this kind of sucks. Everybody has, like, their usernames, and now it's, like, all different, except if you are coming in on Beta, Twitch, Kick, or Trovo. Bex the Bex. Hey, Mrs. Rafayuski checking in. Good to see you. How are you, Mrs.? What up, bro? And hell yeah, all dogs on DWCS. Yes, how goes it? Did I miss anything? Nah, just some conversation about the upcoming fights. Nothing on the show. You missed this guy that Yanni the Greek is talking about that looks a little like Philion. That was crazy. Yo, is that Philion? What the hell? Yeah, I'm saying all these usernames are throwing me off. Oh, it's still Rafayuski just on the girlfriend's tablet. Got you. Okay. Well, shout out to you. Shout out to your lovely girlfriend. Hope both of you are doing well. Probably a YouTube thing. Yeah, we're going to have to figure this out. I'm going to have to see if it's something I can fix. Because, yeah, I mean, like, you know, obviously if you picked a username, you want to go by that. So we want to be able to call you by that. I use free money. I got $40 for free from Prize Books as a bonus. All right, hey, make that work for you, brother. Oh, Schultz that's who we were just talking about. Yeah, Schultz looks a little like Philion, at least in that picture. Shout out to Philion. That guy's funny. I think that he's a little bit on the nose with his character, but I do enjoy his content. He's definitely way more conservative than I am, but I still think he's generally a pretty decent guy, and he is funny. You can't see PFPs. No, I cannot. No, not on here. All I see, what you see on the screen over here, that's what I see. I see your what platform you're coming in at, and your at handle, what used to be your username. I can see your profile pictures on your comments on videos, but not in the chat. But she said she's a bit tired because we just got back from the gym and cooked dinner, but all right, everything's good. Yeah, got you. Well, I mean, being tired after the gym is the best kind of tired. So you are crushing it in life right now. The two of you might be the most crushing it couple in the Yammerverse right now. Hanging out, watching fights together. First of all, in a committed relationship, that in and of itself just puts you in a next level compared to other people that I could name in the chat who I will not. Not currently, of course. Everybody in the chat currently is fine. But there is at least one person that I know by name who has a good amount of frustration when it comes to relationship status. So, committed relationship number 1. Watching fights together, number 2. And working out together, number 3. And going to college to better yourself, number 4. Brother, you're Thanos with the gems on the gauntlet right now. Hydra? No, not Hydra. The guy with 2 dads. Hydra's a Chad too. Oh, snapshots fired. Look, I love Rick Allen, man. Rick Allen, I think he's a misunderstood figure. I think that he's one of those guys that lashes out because he doesn't know how to properly express himself. And I feel for him because he's obviously very frustrated with the fact that he's single. So, you know, we got to get this man laid to put all the cards on the table. But no, Hydra's the fucking goat right there, dude. Hydra's about to run the planet too. That's another dude who's cooking when it comes to self-betterment, out there getting an education, about to be a future leader if this world can sustain. Folded immediately. I mean, there's really only one person that it could be. Come on, man. It's the only person that talks about it. Lord knows this is what I try to tell him. He's constantly asking me about how I'm doing on the dating apps. When was the last time you ever heard me bring that up without it being prompted? I don't care. I do not care. He cares. He cares a whole lot. Yes, correct. But shout out to Rick, though. As I always said, Rick stays around because he is the homie in a weird way. How are the dating apps in the USA? Not great. Not great is the answer. I mean, I've had success on them. It's a mixed bag. Really what I think, I don't know if it's a US thing, maybe it is, but I think what it comes down to is just the fact that everybody is living this modern life that we all live. Like, we're all busy. Money is hard to come by. So you're out here trying to make it in life. Like, when am I barely have time to get all the work done that I have to do. I mean, between Yama and my business, like, I've got very little free time at this point. That's why I'm starting to fill out in my fucking midsection right now. I got to get myself back into the gym. Was thinking about going after the stream tonight, actually. The point is that, like, we're all pulled in a lot of different directions. So I think that human connection just kind of takes a back seat for a lot of people. So I don't know if they're better other places, or maybe culturally it's a little bit different, the dating scene or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that a lot of people are not very happy with their experiences with it. So glad CP keeps the Rick Allen joke up. 2 dads, double the dad. I never see his messages because he blocked you. Aw, what? That's lame. All right, next time Rick comes around, I got to tell him to unblock you. Because that's a beta move right there. Just post pics of your cat. The girls love it. Okay. I will take that into consideration. Probably because he has two dads. I mean, look, you gotta be understanding and considerate of that fact. You got a very unique, modern situation there with the dual fathers. It's something that you gotta cut a little slack to. I'd say so. But yeah, I will definitely mention to Rick that he needs to unblock you, Sigma, because that is soy behavior. Make your cat an Instagram. My cousin does that and has almost 100,000 on IG. Oh, good Lord. That will not be happening. I will not stoop to that level, person. Okay, look, let me take that back. No shade to the people who do that. If that's what you want to do, that is not the type of content that I want to do. Although I am at a bit of a loss as to why the Instagram Reels. So I post the Yama clips on Instagram, and they're starting to get really good views, but I don't know why it doesn't translate to followers on Instagram. That's an interesting question to me. That's a bigger question on my mind than, dating apps or anything like that. I love cats that don't have hair. You have to spread coconut oil on them. You oil up hairless cats? I didn't know that. Stop capping, Yama. You definitely already have an account for your cat. No, what I have is my Thinker St. James personal account with a lot of pictures of the cat. Follow me at Thinker St. James on Instagram if you want to see more Yama Cat. There are some very, very handsome pictures of my little man on there. Just same Yama Cat, something adorable like Cocoa Bean. Oh, just name Yama Cat something adorable like Cocoa Bean. His name is Omen. He has a name. The cat has a name. All right, fights underway. Mingaj versus Schultz. Nice body kick for Mingaj. Wes Schultz, that's a name that is familiar. This is a second go-around for him, isn't it? They're talking about Schultz having an awkward striking style. Of course, you know that awkward is the best base for MMA right now. We're going to see if Renier de Ritter can keep that trend up this weekend. He really is weird. What the fuck was that? He came in with the Thai leg raise, but didn't keep distance with it. Oh, shit. Is unorthodox the best base? He just got a knockdown. Damn. How the fuck did he get a knockdown off of that? It was like a weird, sideways shot. That's very strange, man. Nothing like the Contender series. Why are you leaving us? Oh, man. You don't get action like this outside of the Contender series. Bro got knocked down off of a shot that was thrown like sidearm. It was like a sidearm punch. Nice elbows for Schultz there. All right, yeah, he's landing some good shots now. Nice knee. Schultz working. I heard scheduling your posts on Insta kills the video essentially in views. What? Well, good to know, but I actually do post live, so good to know though. Thank you for that. Whoa, Suliev stretch. Are you kidding me? I mean, brother. Did we just see a Suliev stretch finish right now? Are you kidding me? What the fuck? I love the Contender series so much, bro. I cannot tell you, dude. How the fuck did he pull that off? Bro, do you know how rare that submission is? I think that we've seen maybe one of those in the UFC before. Anytime that someone attempts it is rare. That is madness. Bro. Legitimate Suliev stretch. That's insane. Was Schultz the dog? Nah, he was the favorite. Fuck. All right. He thought he was going to split him. His groin was about to explode. That's insanity, bro. Wow. Suloev stretch getting pulled off in actual legitimate competition. I could barely recognize Keith Peterson, bro. He has lost a ton of weight. Good Lord. Looks like he's still losing weight. Brother is disappearing. No, he wasn't the dog. He wasn't the dog. Sadly. All these goddamn favorites throwing cold water on my Yama method of betting. Love you, mama. Thank you. Bro, Buddy is memeing right now. Pulls off one of the rarest submissions in the game, and then that little soundbite. Love you, mama. Thank you. I might have to try to get a clip for that for the soundboard. Do you think we'll ever see a Boston Crab submission in the UFC? Well, shit, dude. We saw a fucking camel clutch the last time that Jimmy Crute fought. So anything's possible. Actually, come to think of it, not in the UFC, but I have seen a Boston Crab submission in MMA before. I forget what promotion it was. I want to say maybe Cage Fury. I think it might have been Cage Fury, CFFC. Which, shout out to Cage Fury, by the way, because they do a lot of events here in Florida, and I've been meaning to get out to one of those at some point. Also, still gotta, now that, so just a little inside baseball for you. I'm finishing up one of the more major projects that I've been working on with my business right now. Getting started on another major project, but in this little meantime, I really need to commit to trying to get myself more commentary gigs because, A, I love doing it, and B, your boy needs to get paid. So, any Florida promotions out there, if you are out there listening, your boy is ready for work. So, I'm going to be putting out the bat signal soon, see if I can get myself on commentary. What is the business? I have a marketing agency, basically. So I have a small boutique marketing agency, and I have a couple of clients that I provide marketing services for. I'm essentially a fractional CMO for a couple of companies, which is very, very awesome, and I'm very blessed to be. So I do that. I also do physical marketing items, so large-scale inflatables and things like that. Yeah, marketing, and then also Yama. I mean, Yama's obviously a very small part of the business right now, but eventually I'd like it to become more. So, yeah, I'm helping to grow a couple of really cool businesses with a couple of very awesome clients, and things are going great. They really are. They're rolling along, and I'm also working on a big project with the Vitz King that we're going to be talking about on stream at some point coming up when it is fully launched. That's actually the next big project that's getting underway. So I'm growing everything all at once. It's a lot of work and it's tough, but it's very rewarding doing it for yourself. Your line's intact. All right, Sigma. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. That is nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, the money's not necessarily there just yet. I will admit that. I'm not swimming in cash because of it, but the business, as my clients grow, I grow with them, which is a great thing. I'm very lucky for that. I'm in good with the people that I work with. They're great people, and that's a blessing in and of itself. I mean, I'll take a little bit of a pay cut to work with good people. That's honestly for anybody out there who's starting out. If you're younger and you're in school or just starting to get yourself into that phase of professional life, that would be a piece of advice that I think that you should really take to heart. Going for the big money sometimes has a bigger price tag than you would initially think. Don't get suckered in. Don't get lured in by the money in and of itself. Always make sure that you're fully considering what you're getting into, whether it's an employment situation or a partnership. The big dollar signs are what's going to be the thing that's going to attract you, but you got to be aware of the full picture, because if you end up going too deep in just for the money, you might end up in a situation you don't want to be in. So always consider the quality of the people that you're working with. There's your piece of advice for the day. This one is make or break. All right. Well, who's the dog? Azamat Naftalayev. God, it looks like they're making up these names. these Caucasus Mountain names. It's like, just throw a bunch of letters, then put an EV at the end. Swimming in cash and hose. I see you, Yama. Brother, it's about to happen. That's one thing I'll shout out to Philly on for. I do agree with him entirely on that. You are not a loser. You're just not a winner yet, I think is definitely a sentiment I can agree with. You have not failed. You just have not yet won. And that is where we are right now. Brother, those dollar signs and those ladies are around the corner. And when Ultra Sigma Giga Chad St. James is on commentary for your Floridian fight promotion, you will know this to be fact. Get your boy on commentary for your fights. You get an insta boost in mana. You get an insta mana boost off of the St. James commentary. This is factual. I don't make the rules. Ask Real Cage Fighting how that shit goes. The 16-1 guy is a bum. He has a padded Khabib record. A lot of, it feels like Uzbekistan specifically, because I noticed that he's from Uzbekistan. Like, obviously Khabib is in that camp, but like, it feels like Uzbekistan has a lot of that too. Like that, yeah, that does not surprise me. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be slouches, though. That just means they beat a bunch of other slouches, I think that really what that comes down to nowadays is the fact that there are so many fighters from those regions that just the pool is going to be bigger and not everybody can be elite. Do you think Figgy should have retired Saturday? No, I don't think so. He's still claiming that he wants to chase gold. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I don't think that his winnable, like, I think that he's in a similar Charles situation. Different circumstances, but similar basic concept. A guy who has already reached the pinnacle of the sport, still kicking around, can still win fights, can still go toe-to-toe with the elites, but will not achieve greatness again as far as gold status. So, I mean, I guess the only reason I think it's a little different than Charles is because this is, he's only been in the new weight for like a year, 2 years maybe. So I'd give him a couple more years before I say retirement is what he should be doing. Plus he fights at a smaller weight anyway. So the smaller weight guys have a little bit more of a runway, I would think. Cardio holds up a little bit better. So the long answer is no. I don't think that he should have retired, but I don't think he's necessarily going to ever. I mean, he's not touching Merab. He would get. We said that on the podcast. He'd get ragdolled like everybody else. So take it for what it is, I guess. If he wants to fight still, if he's pulling the Drew Dober and he just loves to fight, let him fight. You think Lekos is going to get him? I mean, he is the favorite. But Azamat Naftalayev. Sounds made up, I swear, but he's on a 5-fight win streak off of all of those cans that he's crushing out there in the Uzbek mountains. Brothers out there amongst the goat herders taking people's heads off with rear naked chokes. So, what you gonna do about it, Leka? What you gonna do about it, Maleka? Jovan. I like that name. Jovan. Mecca Lecca Hey. Mecca Lecca Hi. That's from Pee-wee's Playhouse. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I think I'm going a little bit loopy. I might be smelling toast. Hopefully this fight starts at some point. Oh, and Bro's from Croatia? He's probably going to win. Actually, no, I don't know. I mean, it is versus Uzbekistan. There's a lot of factors in this one. All right, Jovan versus Azamat. They touch. Let's get it. Nuftalayev. Nuftalabank. All right, good low kick for Lecca. I've been taking too many crazy pills, brother. I get that way sometimes, especially when I'm by myself. I think it's amplified by Vitz King, but it's still there when I'm alone. Where's all that blood from? Was that from the first fight? Or did they just not change the mats between Contender series? What the fuck? That guy didn't bleed in the first fight. They didn't change the mats. That's kind of wild. You're making people perform on old mats? Is that normal? That's the first time I've ever noticed it. All right, Nuftalayev on top right now. So far, so good for the Yama betting method. We'll see. Oh, nice elbow. Come on, Nufty. Nufty! Nothing is going to compare to John Pork, though. I really found that very funny when I found out about the legend of John Pork. You really think Dana would spend that money? I mean, that's a basic expense of this sport. I would hope so, goddammit. I feel bad for these guys, because there's a lot of blood on that mat. I mean, by now, any bacteria, I'm sure, is, you know. I'm sure that it's dead by now. Nuftalayev keeping this top control and sailing his way to not getting a contract with this lay and pray right now. Brother, you think you're going to get a contract this way? You get a fucking Suliev stretch in the first round of your fight, you're getting an insta contract. Shout out to Mr. Schultz. But yeah, you should on the Contender series, you should never have Mark Smith clapping at you. But yeah, Lecca ain't doing shit, bro. This is your guy? Sigma. I'm scared for you right now, bro. This can is crushing at the moment. Yeah. I mean, what do you say to this? Honestly, do you think John Pork got blessed or cursed with that nickname? Blessed, bro. Blessed indeed. Rando Dagestani fighter that you would definitely not remember if he doesn't end up becoming elite in the organization now gets a nickname that you instantly remember? A serious blessing. Now, I mean, culturally for him, you can make the argument that, yeah, pork is haram, so you don't want a Muslim fighter associated with that, but that's on him. I mean, if we're talking about star power and, recognition in the sport with the fan base, that's a serious blessing. Oh, look at Nuftalayev trying to use that lower body strength. Almost tried to get a pickup on him. Yeah, all right, drags him back down. Yeah, Nuftalayev just wearing out Mr. Lecca. Lecca, please get back into this fight. Lecca. He lecca like a man. Who remembers Mad TV? Aging myself with that one. Also, still going a little loopy considering that this is a Cerveza Cristal right here. Bro, this is like... This is a week 1 fight right now. Another takedown for Nuftalayev, though. Showing off a good wrestling base for heavyweight. Kind of like to see it. And that'll do it for round 1. Good Lord. Okay, Unk. Yeah, that is definitely Unk status with Mad TV. But quality sketch show. If you can find old episodes of Mad TV, it was really pretty funny back in the day. Some would say better than SNL. Hard to go up against SNL in that era. SNL now is ass. If you don't look, this is actually a good barometer for, I don't know how many of you, have like, maybe you're not in the comedy world the same way that I am, but like, if you've got friends out there and they're like, bro, you got to see this SNL sketch. It's so funny. That's a person who does not have good taste in comedy. So I hate to say it because I'm sure that they're very nice people, but SNL is about as normie humor as you can get. And normie humor is absolute trash. Normie humor is dumpster juice. Don't drink the water. All right, round 2 of this very exciting fight. All right, Lecca's going to want to keep this thing on the feet now, considering that his big ass cannot get back to them. All right. Let's see some heavyweight power. Nuftalayev going for another takedown. Jekka on top of it now. Smart move. Got around it. Gets the back. Good take. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sadly, it's the truth. Sadly, it's the truth. And that is why great comedy has been silenced in this era. Is because sad, woke normies made it so that comedy was only now becoming legal again. That's why it's a great thing that $1 Million Extreme is back, even though it's not necessarily my favorite. Oh, look at Lecca trying to go for the short choke here. All right, doesn't get it, but better work. And now we got to see if Nuftalayev can get back to his feet. But yeah, I mean, as far as like comedy goes, there's so much great comedy out there, and edgy, push the boundaries kind of humor that just gets silenced because people can't laugh when comedy is critical. What my brother would wrongly call crucial comedy. It's actually critical comedy, comedy that has a bite to it, where there's a butt of the joke, so to speak. Can't have it. But it's starting to come back now. Never laughed out loud in an SNL sketch. They have good ideas, but the execution is ass. Based take, TJF. That is well said. Yes, SNL sketches are a funny premise that is surrounded by 5 minutes of unfunny dressing. Unfunny window dressing. This fight is terrible, by the way. This is absolute awfulness that we are witnessing here. Par for the heavyweight course. God, you were hoping for better on the Contender series for heavyweight specifically. But yeah. As you're absolutely right though. Yeah, SNL. It's you take a kernel of a amusing. That's what I would say. It's an amusing concept. It's not even a laugh out loud concept. It's an amusing premise that they dress up with such unfunny surrounding shit. I will say that back in like the Will Ferrell era, there was definitely valuable comedy there. And of course, if you go back farther than that, the 80s and 70s, there was some good SNL comedy there as well. But nowadays, it's almost unwatchable. I have this one normie friend who shares SNL sketches with me, and I sit there stone-faced watching this shit, wondering, A, how this passes for comedy, and B, why that fucking show is still on television. I don't give a fuck that it's an institution. Get that bullshit off of my TV. Make room for new and interesting comedy. Cardio for one round, bro. I mean, not even that. They were laying on the ground for round one. If you're saying that it's 1 round's worth of cardio stretched out over 3 rounds, that's looking like what we're going to see here. I mean, it's going to be 1-1 going into the third, and we're just going to have to see who can... look at those control time numbers. Like, this is literally 1-1 down the line. Uh-oh. Getting that face crank. Oh no. Yeah, short. I mean, that's, yeah, not going to get the job done, but still not good. Let's see if Nurmagomedov can survive. 2 blobby heavyweights that can't get back to their feet. It is Tai Tuivasa all over again. Exactly what the boss man wants to sign to his promotion. I agree. I think SNL should have been ended many years ago. Trash TV. Facts, brother. Facts. And I'm not even look, if you want to have SNL in, if somebody's enjoying it to the point that they want it around, there is still a place for it. I just don't like the fact that it's the only real sketch comedy show still left right now. When let me tell you something, okay? As this fight continues to wear itself down. Back in the 2000s, all right? I would say 1997 to 2002 was a golden era of sketch comedy. Maybe even a little earlier than that. Maybe 1995 to 2002 was a golden era of sketch comedy. You had Upright Citizens Brigade, the best sketch comedy show of all time. You had Kids in the Hall. Later on, a little, I think maybe outside of that window, but I'd still put it in there. You had Whitest Kids You Know. These are great shows. This was amazing sketch comedy. That has gone out the window. Viva Variety, Comedy Central, Exit 57. I can go on. Comedy Central used to put these things out, and they were very good. And then slowly over time, they all went away till now SNL is the only thing that you have with that. And the rest, aside from I Think You Should Leave, which is very funny, aside from that, you get nothing now. So we need a resurgence of quality sketch comedy, and I think SNL is pushing that back. And I think that that's unfortunate. I say the Bill Hader, Andy Samberg era was pretty good. It was good in pieces, I would say. The Lonely Island stuff was high quality, absolutely. And Bill Hader is the man, for sure. But you surround that with the, what's her name, the Kristen Wiggs of the world, and I don't know. Maybe I'm a hater, though. I think I just got jaded to the point that maybe I wasn't allowing the good of that to come in. Nice shot for Nurmagomedov here in the third round. But, there probably was more that I could probably take some quality from, but, I wasn't watching. So if there are some good sketches from back then, I would be interested in seeing them. And I'm sure that they were pretty good. But nowadays, it is so bad. And what a missed opportunity they had by not signing Shane Gillis when they could have. Tim Robinson is actually so good. Yeah. I Think You Should Leave is fantastic. Very, very funny. Very funny. And talk about a unique voice in comedy as well. That's what I really like about Tim Robinson. He's got such a strong, unique, fresh take on the way that he presents comedy that is a breath of fresh air, I would say. But of course, student of comedy St. James over here. I need more. I need better. I need new. I need Nurmagomedov to win this fight. Come on, Nufty. Hold in the back. Oof, nice elbow for. Oh, Lekka's got him hurt. Yeah, Lekka's hurting him. Oh, Nufdalayev swings back. Yeah, oh, dude, Nufdalayev looking terrible right now. Look at this body language. Good Lord. Shoots from a mile away. This is such an ass fight. God damn, this sucks. I think Tim Robinson was in SNL as well. Yeah, he was a writer primarily on SNL, and because they weren't utilizing him well enough, that's what ended up, I think, having him leave and start his own thing. Yeah, we lucked out with that. That seems to be the way that it goes. Is that SNL the only silver lining for Saturday Night Live right now is the fact that they turn away their top talent, and then their top talent goes on to do their own thing. As I had said, Shane Gillis gets turned away because all of that dumb bullshit, absolute bullshit that got him kept from the show. And then he goes on to do all the things he's doing. Tires, very good show. I thought I quite enjoyed Tires. Not the greatest show of all time, but certainly quality. And then Tim Robinson, he's a writer on there. I think he was in a couple of sketches, but primarily more of a writer. He's not getting his shine on SNL. He goes away. He starts one of the best comedy shows of the era, and I think you should leave. So, yeah, thank you, SNL, for vetting great comedy by turning them away. Really speaks volumes to the taste that you have, Lorne Michaels. Yeah, Lekka's going to win this fight, but goddamn is he not going to get a contract. There is no... If Dana gives this guy a contract, I will eat my hat. Did you watch Friendship with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson? I have not seen it. I want to watch it. I've heard kind of mixed reviews about it because what I had heard was that it was good, not great, mostly because they didn't let Tim Robinson really do his thing. Like I had heard that. I mean, look, everybody's opinion can be different about it. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm not going to watch it because I heard this about it. But the reason that it gave me pause, if it is true, is that what you want is Tim Robinson being Tim Robinson. And if you're not going to let him do that, then what's the point, I guess. But I will watch it though. And I will draw my own conclusion because Paul Rudd, also a fantastic comedic actor. Don't get it twisted just because he's a big superstar now. That guy is an alum of The State, yet another one of those amazing comedy sketch shows that I was talking about from earlier. The State, possibly the best, not necessarily the best show itself for sketch comedy, but what it graduated, the best alums of all time, I would say. So you got David Wayne, who would go on to do Stella, and the greatest comedy film of all time, Wet Hot American Summer, coming out of The State. And we're going deep in the comedy lore today on the stream during that terrible fight. So, yeah, Lekka wins that fight. He got a couple nice strikes off at the end. Both these guys flopping around like walruses at the end. But, yeah, Lekka not getting a contract. No contract. No dice. Yeah, I've got The State on the big shelf over there. I'd like to go back and rewatch that at some point. I want to dip my balls in it. Paul Rudd is my favorite actor, but watched 20 minutes of the movie and it made me cringe a lot. Not that it was bad, similar to Office cringe. Ooh, wow. That is definitely not an endorsement. Yeah, The Office. That's another normie show that is questionable as to whether or not the people who enjoy it actually know what comedy is. Not to say that show didn't have its moments. I will say that there are some times with The Office that it did make me laugh. And I think that if you take The Office more as a drama than a comedy, then there actually was some value to that. But yeah. 29-27. Yikes. All right, Lecca gets the win. He's not getting a contract. Let's forget that that fight ever happened. I enjoyed this comedy discussion, though. That's going to be my takeaway from this. That'll be what I'm talking about on the podcast on Monday. Yeah, that fight sucked, but we had a great talk about sketch comedy from the late 90s, early 2000s. To cap that off, by the way, if I could give you yet another piece of unsolicited advice, go and watch Upright Citizens Brigade, because that is the greatest sketch comedy show of all time. And I won't go into all of the long-winded description of why that is, but trust that it is. It is absolutely hilarious. It holds up to this day. It's evergreen, so the humor is still just as good now as it was back then. Does not feel very dated. If ever at Christmas time you hear me singing about Santa liqueur, you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch Upright Citizens Brigade. Every day is Christmas when you drink the Santa liqueur. Situational cringe. Yeah, I get you. I mean, there can be value to that. You know what I mean? Like okay. So I saw a movie that was like a dark comedy called All My Friends Hate Me. It's an English film that I would say does what you're talking about well enough that it was funny and had value. So I would recommend that. You can watch that for free, I believe, on Tubi. I think that's where I saw it. And it was good. I mean, it wasn't great. It was good. It was definitely entertaining, definitely kept my interest, and it made me laugh enough at times to keep with it. So like that situational cringe can be good. It just has to be surrounded by a firm foundation of additional comedy to make the entire package work, in my opinion. Used to love The Office, had an Insta page with 1,000 followers, but if I could go back in time, I would never watch it just to avoid that. Why? I don't think I'm understanding. What's the problem if you liked it? Just because of like what it became as it went on for way too long? I mean, if that's how you feel, I guess that's how you feel. But again, there's no shame in that. The shame in watching and enjoying SNL is very different than the shame, if there is any, in The Office. He's embarrassed, Lecca. I mean, he probably should be, to be perfectly honest. Look, when you're on the Contender series, that's an embarrassing performance. No disrespect to either of those guys. Respect to everybody who makes the walk. But yeah, I don't think that that's contract worthy. You come on the Contender series, you are expected to fight a certain way, and that wasn't it. Pretty much just got obsessed. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of got a little obsessed with The Office in a weird way, like a little bit too much, specifically women. It was like, you still to this day, so speaking of the dating profiles, to this day, women talking about, how much they love The Office and, all that kind of, and I'm just like, ugh, hey, come on. But, all things in moderation, perhaps. I used to be that way with the things that I like too. I got a little obsessed with comedy. I'm a huge Mystery Science Theater fan. I don't know if you can see it really on camera, but up there, that picture hanging on the wall in the frame right there, this one that I'm pointing at right here, that is a framed poster of the Mystery Science Theater, the movie. I am a huge Mystery Science Theater fan. Haven't watched a lot of the most recent stuff, but the OG series, seasons 1 through 10, peak comedy to me. So I understand getting a little obsessed with the things that you like. No shame in that. No shame in that. Told you Azamat is a bum. Well, yeah, so was Lecca, though. Both those guys, pretty bummy to me. Oh, this guy is an army guy. From what country? Oh, from Brazil? Brazilian Army Ranger. All right, Rafayuski and Bex. Sounds like Brazilian Army Ranger. Yeah, he's representing Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I have a question. Okay, hey, Rafayuski, if you're chilling right now, answer me this question. So, in Portuguese, R makes the H sound, right? Paeira. Right? Rocha. R makes the H sound as far as English pronunciation. So why then is it Rio de Janeiro? Because I don't know that to be pronounced Rio. I've never heard it pronounced Rio de Janeiro, I don't think. Oh, it depends. What does it depend on? God, how do you, man? Much like Polish. Much like Polish. It's a big make-em-up with how these letters are pronounced and what the sounds make. Polish is the worst. Polish is the absolute worst. I really just think that they throw darts at a board as to how they pronounce letters over there. But what does it depend on? Because, yeah, this has always confused me. Because I like to try to pronounce the names with a little bit of a flair, with a little bit of a pronunciation that they would pronounce it themselves. American doesn't understand languages. I understand the concept of languages. I don't understand how why is it that you have a character, in this case, the letter R, and everybody just decides that it makes a different sound? Why does it not just make the same sound across the board? This is not an English versus other languages thing. This is just a general observation. Venezuela runs forward in every fight. Are we talking in a good way or a bad way? I mean, he's charging forward striking, or is he running into a fist? Even got on your computer to type better? All right, Rafayuski, lay the lore down for me. I need to know. All right, basically in Portuguese, the letter R may have different sounds depending on the word and the accent of the person that's saying it. Okay, that somewhat makes sense. In Brazil, you should speak American. I am not saying that. All I'm saying is that all of the languages on this planet, if you see the letter R, it should make the same sound. Because if you don't make it make the same sound, then it's devaluing the alphabet. Should be a round one finish? All right, well, I'm looking for it. God, we need one after that last fight. It's going to be a long night if it's more fights like that one. UFC not paying for the rights to this footage, apparently. They were blurring out the sponsor. Or I guess not paying to promote. Looks like it might have been OnlyFans. All right, who is the dog? Victor Valenzuela. He is from Chile. Victor Valenzuela. Oh, Valenzuela, not Venezuela. There are some words that we roll the R. Yes, like Spanish people pronounce Roberto. Yes, indeed. Roberto. I always enjoyed rolling my R's when I was in Spanish class for 2 years. But in Brazilian Portuguese, we pronounce it Roberto. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, but how do you know which one's which, I think is the question. But in some regions of Brazil, more to the south, they will pronounce the rolled R. Jesus Christ, dude. It's like you got to be deep within Brazilian lore to know all of this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you, like, you just get used to it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's just like, you kind of just apply it wherever it makes sense, I guess. So, okay, then this is another question then. So let's say that you have a name, or not a name. Let's say it's just a regular word. But if I was going to pronounce whatever, some word that has the R in it. If I pronounced it as an R as opposed to as an H sound, will people still understand what I'm saying, or does it completely change the word? That's an interesting question to me, too. Trains with Colby and Nate Landwehr, quite the duo. Let's go. Oh! Wow, what the fuck? We've got Victor Valenzuela. And okay, no. There we go. So they put the wrong name up for the other guy. No, this is Michael Oliveira. Wait, what the fuck? They put the wrong name up for this guy. Michael Oliveira, Victor Valenzuela. All right. Depends on the word, but I think most people will understand. Okay, gotcha. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, thank you very much for hipping me to game on this one. Why does Victor Valenzuela look very, very familiar? He kind of looks like Armin in the face. He looks like a mix of like Armin and one other fighter that I can't put my finger on right now. All right, fight's underway. Come on, Valenzuela. Do it for Chile. Not running forward yet. I'm confusing you, Yama, brother. I'm confused. I think we're all kind of confused together. He looks inflated. That's somebody's fetish. I mean, Oliveira putting some good pressure on here. He's holding center, and Valenzuela is right up on the cage. Nice low kick. Outside leg kick for Oliveira. Another Oliveira. You know what we could use more of? Oliveiras and Santoses. We don't have enough of those. Nice low kick for Valenzuela. I mean, Valenzuela looking very comfortable off of the back foot right now. Hopefully he can actually turn that into some striking here, because Oliveira is right on top of him, and he's towering over him, too. Oliveira's statuesque, I would say. I mean, they're not even that different in height. It's just the stature of Oliveira. Like, he just has, like, a different posture. Valenzuela kind of keeping that low guard, chin tucked kind of deal. Smart move, but he's going to need to do just that. He's going to need to punch his way in. I was literally going to say that as he was doing it. All right. Couple low kicks traded. Valenzuela needs to go to the body. Hook to the body, my friend. Oh, all right. That stunned him. Yeah, Oliveira getting sent backwards by Valenzuela. Come on, Valley boy. We need to even out this pot. I'm losing money over here. I mean, they both need to turn up the volume here, man. They're taking pictures of each other right now. Did he just punch to the thigh? Get this man out of here. Valenzuela. No thigh punching at range, my friend. Excuse me. I can guarantee you that Chase Parton is screaming about that thigh punch right now. Shout out to Chase. That's the homie. They are right up in each other's faces dancing right now. Somebody strike. Ooh. Oh, that was a nice one. Oliveira lands that nice straight down the pipe. Bro, go to the body. All right. Level changes. Good look. Chase isn't streaming? What? Chase is not streaming? That's surprising. So you're stuck with Yama? You know, you should be so lucky. It's a privilege to be in the presence of Yama greatness. GOAT commentary right here. This gorgeous face that you get to look at. I'm surprised, though. I thought Chase was going to be streaming this. Either way, Fridays, make sure that you're checking out Chase on the One Championship streams. Those are fun. Those are really fun. Ooh, heavy shot. Didn't land all of it for Valenzuela. Oh, nice elbow for Oliveira. It's knee to the body. Valenzuela just needs to get more active. He's got good power, but he's waiting way too long to throw. Valenzuela's putting some looks out now. 10 seconds left in this round. This also, I don't know if this is going to be a contract-worthy performance just yet, but we shall see. Yeah, Keith Peterson looking way skinny, bro. God damn. It's like Keith Peterson's head looks huge now compared to how skinny his body is. He looks like a human lollipop now. Bro is losing even more weight. That's crazy. Yeah, corner is giving good advice right now to Valenzuela. More speed and more hand movement, dude. Throw your hands. Telling him to go for the takedown, that I don't agree with necessarily. I mean, it probably is an okay move against the taller guy, but he's got to really know when to do it. And that last attempt was, even if it was a feint, was not the best feint. So, all right. Round 2 coming up. All right, round 2 underway. Oliveira, Valenzuela. They're talking about scoring of that last round. It was very close. I would say Oliveira took the round off the pressure. Were you a band kid? No, I was not. I took bass lessons for a very little while. My dad's a bass player, so I was trying to follow in Dad's footsteps, but it wasn't for me. Then I started rapping, so kind of stayed with music, but not in a band capacity. All right, they're starting to throw a little bit more now. That's good. I really wasn't like any one group kind of kid in school, at least not like of like the extracurriculars. I guess you could say I was, one of the rock kids to an extent. I got into Manson and stuff like that, but it was always interesting because I was a rapper too. So like I was out there rocking the Metallica shirt, spitting freestyles. Yeah, I hung out with the who could call the freaks, perhaps. I was always a little alternative. Hang out with the gutter punks. That was my speed. Oof. All right, Oliveira's starting to turn up nicely. A lot of redness on, that cut on Valenzuela's face. Yeah, got a mouse and a cut going on the one side of the cheek there. Ooh, all right. Oliveira drops him. Valenzuela on the retreat. Gets back to the cage. He's on his back. Oliveira looking to finish this fight. Yama's a freak. Yeah, you could say that. Don't you wish your Yama was a freak like me? Freak on a leash, more accurately. Korn and Rob Zombie. Oh, Valenzuela down again. This is bad news, Bears. Oh, on his back. Oliveira says, get up, smart move. Good fight IQ. Oliveira mixing up the shots now. See if Valenzuela can stay in this fight. Oh. Heavy shots from Oliveira. And they're landing. Valenzuela looking real rough right now. Oliveira smelling the blood. Valenzuela coming back with a shot of his own. He's not out of it completely, but how much longer can he survive? Taking a lot of punishment. Bro, he is looking terrible right now. He's looking like Doom Guy right now. Percentage is too high, brother. Brother is all kinds of messed up. Yeah, Oliveira is just pawing at him right now, trying to get that shot. Oh, that's got to do it. That's got to do it. Oh, yeah, brother. You must stop that fight. Wow. Nice work. Nice work for Oliveira. That hook was nasty, boy. That shit dropped him, dude. He was done, though. That was heavy. That was heavy, man. Giving a hug to Cutman Tate. Yeah, dude, that shot was crazy. I see the replay of that shot that dropped him there. I thought it was going to get stopped right then and there. Yeah, this one. Bang. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Short right. Yeah. Sets it up with the left. Bombs the right. I mean, really, it was the additional one on the way down. Yeah, dude, that was it. Head bouncing. Yeah. That was the left hook I was talking about. That was the second one. Yeah, left hook just drops him. Put him the fuck out. Jeez. Nice work. I used to not like Korn as I was younger. They had like 2 songs I enjoyed, but then I listened to more songs throughout the years and realized they're dope as fuck. Man, that guy got brutalized. Yeah. Yes. I always enjoyed Korn. I think I almost had the opposite. I kind of think that their music is, no pun intended, but slightly corny. It's very of the era. Very new metal, but I do think that there is a lot of value to the production and the style. One thing that Korn does well, and this is something I don't think they get enough credit for, but the bass in Korn has a very distinct sound. I think was that Fieldy, I want to say, was the bass player? Fieldy or Head, whichever one was the bass player, had a very cagey, almost slap bass kind of sound. I don't know if he was actually playing slap bass, but like it was like this really fat, thick bass sound. Almost had like this like cagey quality to it that I think really set Korn apart stylistically. And that's something that I quite enjoy listening to them now. And they still have some really quality songs, I would say. But like going back and listening to a whole Korn album, I don't know if that's something I would necessarily be doing like on a regular basis. But I certainly do. I certainly do enjoy them still. "Freak on a Leash" is a great song. "Got the Life," that's the Korn song. "Got the Life" is my favorite of their songs. That song is dope. You're jumping out the car if you hear it on the aux. Korn is so ass. What? Oh my god. How can you be a Netspend fan and not appreciate Korn? I don't understand you, TJF. You're from a whole different planet. Jumping out the car. Give me a break, bro. How can you not like "Got the Life"? That song is the shit. I like Korn still. Yeah, they had some good stuff. And I said, my first real concert that I ever went to was possibly one of the most banger lineups that you could have had from the early 2000s. Korn, Rob Zombie, Videodrome. That's a monster lineup. I got so lucky. On the Follow the Leader tour too. It was the Follow the Leader tour and the Hellbilly Deluxe tour. Jesus Christ. Net spend clears. He certainly clears the room of anyone with musical taste. So we're agreeing on that. Start playing net spend and people who know what music is just leave the room. You got to show me one net spend song where he actually spits, though. If you can find me one net spend song where he actually has something to say in a structurally sound way, I'll give you some credit. And this is not a generational thing. There are plenty of young rappers that I can get down with. He is not one of them. Shit, bro, I was the oldest guy at the Spider Gang concert. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? I was in the pit at Spider Gang during the pandemic. Fucking in a mosh pit wearing a fucking face mask. Ended up getting sick from that concert too. Not COVID, but still, it was a lot of people packed into a small space. Enjoyed that show though. It was just long, bro. Whole lot of members of that Spider Gang. No lie, net spend is the closest thing we've got to a modern day Beethoven. TJF, I know you're trolling with this, but you gotta make the troll at least a little bit more believable than that. Modern day Beethoven. I'd say Joji is closer to Beethoven than net spend. Anais Malumba, another person coming out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They really are trying to make the DRC a thing in this sport. I don't know. Marwan Rahiki coming out of, was that Turkey? No, that's, oh my God, Bahrain? Shoot, I'll have to hear when they say it. Hook me up to a lie detector, I swear, on everything. Bro, then you are patently false. You are wrong. He is not anywhere near a modern day Beethoven. He makes terrible, unlistenable music. I really fear for you if you think that he makes good music. He not only has nothing to say, he also does not say it in a satisfying way as a hip-hop artist. There are plenty of better rappers to listen to, my friend. I'm sorry that you feel this way. Hurts my heart. Virna, your goat. Yes, Virna. About to get herself a shiny gold belt. Up against Mackenzie Dern, who has no business being in a title fight. Talk about pretty privilege in effect. Mackenzie Dern showing that voluptuous set of assets that she possesses all the way to a title shot. Man, must be nice if you are a lady. This guy has a weird accent. I think that flag was in Morocco. I think it's Morocco's flag. He's got like a Moroccan English accent. Drank by Netspend. This is Beethoven levels. Drank. Yep, throw it in the Discord. I'll listen to it. But I'm telling you, if this guy does not have bars, then I'm going to seriously question your discerning reasoning when it comes to music. I like this guy's Walt Disney mustache. He's got the little pencil mustache going on. All right. That's him. Here's Mr. Democratic Republic of Congo. Side braids going down and back. Yeah, they're showing Musasa like he's someone to emulate. Good Lord. So I'm saying Democratic Republic of Congo has really not been showing out in this modern era just yet. Shout out to them for, getting their way into the sport, but they have really not been producing top talent just yet. If Musasa is the best that you have and that dude from a couple weeks ago did not get a contract, I believe. I think that the last guy from Congo lost his fight. Yeah. Congo has a way to go. Ways to go. But maybe this will be the guy that changes the perception. Malumba. African music. Very high quality, by the way. I'm a big fan of African folk music. African hip hop. Very good. Some good, kind of like, I wouldn't call it reggaeton, because obviously reggaeton is a specific style, but like that cadence in their rhythms sometimes has a little bit of crossover there. African dancehall. African blues. Well, Ali Farka. Yeah, you want to hip to some game, I'll put you on. Shout out to the GOAT, Hugh Masekela, African funk, some of the best in the world. You fuck with J. Cole. I like some J. Cole. I think that he is a quality lyricist, but doesn't make very exciting music. I kind of also feel that way about Kendrick, and I know that these are very, very spicy takes, but I can certainly appreciate their music. I don't necessarily run to put it on. Because that's the fine line that you walk, whether, especially in hip hop, in all music, but in hip hop especially, you have is it high quality lyricism versus actually like banger tracks that you want to replay over and over again. That's what Drake did very well. He made pop music, basically, which, there's value there. It's not deep, but it has replay value. If you're listening to be enlightened, then I think J. Cole and Kendrick offer a lot. But if you want something that's going to get you, make you feel something, that would, not necessarily what I'm going to. I would suggest my favorite J. Cole song, but it's 8 minutes long, so might as well listen to the album at that point. I mean, look, 8-minute songs can be, make it audibly interesting. Anytime that I was in the studio, that was always what I would tell my producer, Tune. I would say, first and foremost, I want my music to be audibly interesting. I want it to be something that is captivating as opposed to something that is profound for the sake of being profound. And I'm not trying to self-aggrandize like I'm some profound writer or anything like that. What I'm saying is that I don't want to be the guy who is in the camp that I'm talking about, where it's like, oh yeah, I can appreciate that there's quality there, but do I actually am I compelled to listen to it over and over again? Is it something that I want to replay on a regular basis? When I listen to an LP record, I replay I'm still listening to Fantastic Damage to this day. Run the Jewels 1 and 2 to this day. So that's audibly interesting music to me. Outkast, audibly interesting hip hop music. Yama the Philosopher. I mean, that's kind of facts, bro. you come to the Yama stream, you're going to get those nuanced takes from your boy. You're also going to get some fight commentary, and there's a fight that just started right now. So let's see what this man from Congo versus this man from Morocco can do for us. Rahiki. Oh, yeah, nice spinning kick for Rahiki. Another nice kick for Rahiki. That forward kick, that front kick. Malumba swinging wildly, bro. He's going to get countered like crazy that way. Oh, nice high kick for Rahiki. This guy's got kicks. Oh, never mind. Malumba with the crazy overhand. Brother with the bomb. Rahiki trying to hang on. Malumba laying shots on. Bang, bang, bang. How long will it go? Yeah, Rahiki hanging on for dear life. Man, resilient, but that was a bomb. Yeah, Rahiki trying to hang on here. Gets those legs up, doing the right thing, but he is still rocked. Oh, yo, Malumba relentless. Bro is going animal mode right now. Oh, Rahiki doing a great job of staying with it, though. Oh, Malumba getting the mount. Got the back. Trying to go for the rear naked. Oh, and he's got it. Oh, he's under. Oh, you must tap, brother. You must tap. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, now he's got it. Oh, wow. Man, he had it before, and then Rahiki adjusted, and he adjusted with him. That sucks for Malumba. Yeah, that was bad news, man. That was a low fight IQ move. He had the choke, and he did not sync shit up. And now Rahiki reversing position. This is a crazy comeback if Rahiki can make this work. How is this happening? Bro bombed him with a crazy shot. We got action here in this fight. All right, back to the feet. Let's see if Malumba can reproduce that. Another overhand for Malumba. Ducks under a shot. Oh, Rahiki landing a shot. Rahiki mixing up the shots. Another one lands for Malumba. We got a competition here. Boom. Another one lands for Malumba. Oh, Rahiki hurt again. Oh, Malumba gets stumbled. Uh-oh. Oh, jabs drops Malumba. Two-way action. This is what you come to the Contender Series for. All right, Malumba back to his feet after him getting dropped. Oh, Rahiki going for another spinning kick when he was well out of it. He should not have gone for that. This is crazy. This is a crazy pace that these guys are putting on. And Malumba looks like he might be slowing down a little bit. Went a little too hard too quickly. Good high kicks. Another low kick from Malumba. I think he's trying to conserve energy a little bit now. We got 2 minutes left in this round. We're only 3 minutes in. Oh, another one lands. Oh, yo, Rahiki on skates again. Malumba's got crazy power in the hands. Malumba's corner screaming at him something in a language I don't understand. But Malumba is now on his back, giving Rahiki time to recover. But man, how many times can this dude get bombed in the face? Oh, God, terrible takedown from Malumba. Lucky the Wizard was there. Boom, boom, all right. Yeah, Rahiki somehow still in this fight to an extent, but I can't imagine that he's got much more to give here. Lands a spinning elbow. Good Lord. This is a crazy fight. This is the kind of round that feels like an entire fight has happened. Oof. Another overhand lands from Malumba. Bro is throwing looping shots all day long. Oof. That was a good kick for Rahiki. Malumba reacts a little to it. I cannot believe Rahiki is still in this fight. Bro is a savage for this. Nice body shot from Malumba, but then he gets rocked himself. God damn. These spinning attacks are going to get Rahiki knocked out, though. Malumba is like not giving him the room for it, and he keeps going for him. Yeah, these spinning attacks are setting up Rahiki for failure at this point, especially for the fact that he's still rock trying to throw him. Wow, this is... Geez, I need to catch my breath over here. All right, good round. I put an Outkast album on and first song full of girls moaning, so I turned it off in school. Yeah, Outkast albums did have a little bit of a sexy overtone to them in some of them. So, but you just skip that track. You just skip over that one when you're in school, and you listen to the rest of it. High quality stuff. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the one that you're talking about, I think was Aquemini. Is the one that started off that way. If you'd like my recommendation on the best Outkast album, I'll give you the Outkast album tier list here real quick. It's number one, top of the list has to be AT-Aliens. That record is a god tier, goated album. AT-Aliens, Stankonia, right underneath that. After that is Aquemini, and then after that is Southern Playlist to Cadillac Music. That would be my Outkast tier list. And then Speaker Box and The Love Below, you can kind of count that somewhere in there. I don't know. Put it wherever you want, but I don't even really fully count that as an Outkast album. That's two separate albums. Hey, there's Rick Allen. How you doing, brother? We were talking about you a little bit earlier. You came up in conversation. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, Rahiki. Rahiki trying to get the choke. Going for the guillotine. This is looking good. Oh, he lets it go. Hey, Hydra. Good to see you too, my friend. How are you, sir? Appreciate you hanging out on the podcast last night. Thank you very much for being there. Stankonia is so good. Yes, Stankonia is fantastic. Stankonia is a great, great record. And if you think that that's an amazing record and have not heard AT-Aliens, listen to AT-Aliens. Because that is, like I said, that is a god tier album. Rick Allen's has two dead, by the way, just in case you forgot. Thank you, TJF. Hey, Rick Allen, why did you block Sigma? Unblock Sigma, Rick Allen. That's a beta male move to hit the block button on your fellow chat members. Come on, Rick. Unblock my boy Sigma. Free Sigma. But yeah, shout out to both of you guys coming in halfway through this fantastic Contender series, except for that one fight. And a really crazy fight right here. Both of these guys have been very close to finishing the fight at times, and both have sort of let it slip through their fingers. Is Rick Allen for real an alt account for a guy or just an ass? It's kind of still up in the air. My suspicion still remains that it's John Dong's alt account, but yeah, you know, I guess the world will never know. Rick Allen certainly isn't telling us. Ooh, nice elbow for Rahiki. Another one. Oh, Rahiki. Wow. Yo, shout out to this Rahiki guy, dude, because he took some crazy shots, some crazy bombs in round one, stayed composed and focused, and made it to round two. Almost had the guillotine choke in, didn't get that. Ends up finishing with some beautiful over-the-top elbows. This guy is the real deal. Shout out to this Rahiki guy. Jesus F. Christ is correct. Yeah, dude, and Malumba is seeing Heavenly Father right now. Wow. That's impressive. This has been one of the, talk about a strong finish for the Contender series, aside from that one fight. But other than that, we saw a fucking Suliev stretch in one fight, and then this fight happened. Jesus Christ, we've been getting some crazy work. Crazy work. This is great. Aside from that one fight. But yeah, Hydra, I don't know if you were watching earlier, my man, but goddamn, Suliev stretch. Legit. Actual submission with the Suliev stretch. That's insane. I that might be the first time that I've ever seen it pulled off in the UFC. I believe that there was only one other time that there's been a legitimate Suliev stretch actually completed in the UFC. I couldn't tell you what fight it was. I'd have to look it up. God damn is right. Yeah, those elbows were insane, dude. This guy Rahiki. Good shit. TJF stands for tired jackass fuckface. You gonna let him talk that shit there, TJF? Jesus. Yeah, Marwan Rahiki. Nasasenya. Wonder if he's gonna hold up a baby like Charles Oliveira. We've been getting spoiled recently. We are due for something I don't even want to know right now. I mean, I want to hope that it was that Leka versus Nuftalayev fight. That was your low point. As I said, that reminded me of a week 1 fight. Thanks, fuckface. Good Lord. But yeah, Rick, I'm not going to let it go, brother. You need to unblock my boy Sigma. My boy Sigma was saying that he can't see the stuff that you post because he's blocked by you. Why'd you do that? That's a very soy move, my friend. I mean, I would not be the type of person to say that Rick Allen is a beta male for that. But I could hear other people in the chat possibly saying that. So you gotta get right, brother. Bro, elbow number 1, uppercut. It really was the uppercut. He bangs 2 over the top elbows. 1, 2, uppercut. Bingo. That uppercut, man. That's like when you hit the thing with the big hammer at the fair and it just sends the thing all the way up. If I blocked, it was for good reason, so I'm not going back on that. Come on, Rick. So you're okay with people blocking you? You wonder where he gets his soy from. Could it be from the number of male parental figures? Rick does have 2 dads, so no wonder he's on soy status. I mean, I'm not saying these things. This is other people in the chat saying this stuff. Everybody is going to get blocked by Rick Allen at this point. Come on, guys. Rick's going to be talking to himself and me if you don't stop commenting on his parents' relationship status. I'm a kleptomaniac in the live chat. I can't help myself. Okay. Well, you got good takes, so you're all good here. I appreciate it. Especially on the podcast, dude. I can't say it because we're in the middle of conversations, but every time I look over, you'd be cracking me up. I think I did say that yesterday. I'm like, man, there's some of the shit you were saying was really getting me. Rick treating us like the females he blocks and curses out after rejecting him. Aw. See, Rick, if you didn't block Sigma, you could have seen that comment. Hydra is my goat. Same here. Team Rick Allen. There you go, Bex. You get it. I want to believe that that's Rafayuski's girlfriend saying that too. It's like she's just like the peanut gallery, you know. She's just an observer looking at all this crazy nonsense. But if you're going to come at me like that, then this is going to get negative and combative every time. Well, Rick, you make it negative and combative often. I'm not saying that you came in that way today, though. You didn't come in out the gate hot, so I do appreciate that. So yeah, Chad is everybody leave Rick Allen alone. He came in perfectly acceptable today. Hydra's my goat as well. There you go. There you go. You know it's facts. You know it's the truth. Also, a GOAT status commentator when it comes to the Friday free-for-alls. Make sure that you're around on Fridays, people. Myself and Chase talking about all the weird, wacky, and wonderful in the world of mixed martial arts Friday nights. generally starting around 10 o'clock p.m. We have a good time on the Friday streams. Just a flock of goats in the Yammer chat. I mean, brother, what are you going to do? Call me Thinker Saint Shepherd around here the way I be staying with the goats. Rick, did you take your red pills before entering stream? Thinker is our Jewish shepherd. Exactly. Exactly. Thinker Saint Judah Maccabee. I came in with a hello and immediately you started attacking me. Hey, look, I wasn't attacking you, Rick. I try to be fair with you all the time. I was just saying that you came up in conversation from earlier. That's all I said. Rick just goes into immediately taking the gloves off. All right, you motherfuckers. What you got? Put them up. Hey, Didgeridoo Dave, what's good, my man? Isn't TJF another dong persona? So Rick started shit with himself. Nah, TJF is his own man. Also has the best drop on the board when it comes to the soundboard. It is true. You are correct, Rick. You didn't start anything today, but you did block Sigma in the past. So this is new information to me. So I'm going off of the information that I'm getting in real time. Stopped by to say good day and stayed for the Rick. There you go. See, so that's a positive comment, Rick Allen. Shout out to Didgeridoo Dave. He's sticking around just for you. Thought you had two dads, Rick. Everyone in the chat says it so much and you never denied it, so I just thought I was spreading facts. I mean, maybe there's a point. Maybe there's a point to that line of thinking, Rick. Have you ever positively confirmed that you don't have two dads? Has that been a positive confirmation? Yeah, I'm the moderator. It's just, I need an actual mod at some point in here. We used to have the GOAT Jack Director. Goated Jack Director, man. I miss that guy, dude. Jack Director was a great dude. He's out in California making films and being a legend. But shout out to Jack Director always. But yeah, I think Bloomis is a mod, but Bloomis can't always be around, so who amongst you will step up and be the next Yamma moderator? When in the history of mankind, or humankind, excuse me, when in the history of humankind could we have a South Korean fight a Peruvian? Right here, right now. We're living in the best timeline when it comes to fights. We're seeing a Korean fight a Peruvian, and we're getting fights at the White House. I mean, now is the best time. Oh, Rick. Why do you let people get to you, Rick? Your team, Sigma, the top 10 Dana White's Contender Series picker on Tapology. This is facts. Well, not facts. A slight annotation there. Top 12. Top 12. Can we trade Rick for old Milfa? Yo. That's some deep chat lore right there, TJF. That's how you know that TJF is a real writer. Yeah, that's not a lot of people know the old Milfa lore. Yeah, that's old school now. Shout out to Russia. Yeah, sadly we had to take care of old Milfa. It sucks though, because I mean I appreciate the perspective. It's just he was getting a little bit too lost in the negative sauce, you know. That's why Rick Allen does it right. So there you go, Rick. I'll pay you a nice compliment. The reason that you are able to walk the line here is because you do it right. You troll, but you don't go too far with the trolling. You know, I mean, some people would say so, not me. Obviously, you stick around for that. So the trolling doesn't go too far. And then sometimes when you're in a good mood, you actually have a decent conversation. So that's the level of trolling that I think is respectable. your bets aren't hitting, you need to start job maxing and get 5 more jobs, bro. I can speak from experience in saying that job maxing only if the money is there, bro, because I've got I've got like 3 jobs right now and it ain't easy. I'm telling you, I'm getting fat just off of being so employed. Moreno is another example of a great guy outside of the cage. This is definite facts. I am a very big fan of Brendan Moreno. Cool guy, good guy, Spanish commentator, champion as well. Great in the cage, great outside the cage. That's my favorite type of fighter. Not a crazy shit talker. Love it. Yeah, big fan of Brendan Moreno. What did old Milfa say to cross the line exactly? He was getting a little bit overly racist. He was getting, look, racial humor can be funny if it actually has some cleverness to it, but he was just being blatantly racist. And it's like, all right, dude, come on, man. Like, I can't just be having you saying flat out racist stuff in the chat. That's not going to work for me. We are an all-inclusive hating of all people chat. We hate everyone equally, and as such, we love everyone equally. But yeah, old Milfa had some interesting thoughts on race mixing. Literally 1984, can't believe Thinker did that to Milfa. Hey, call me big brother. Double plus good, motherfucker. And drop and give me 10. Don't get a job. It's too late. Hey, got to do what you got to do, brother. What I would recommend is get a job that you enjoy. That's the real challenge. And I know that's not possible for everybody. Rodriguez needs to win or else I win nothing. All right, well, let's see it. Fight's underway. Diaz, excuse me. Juan Diaz versus Quan. Oh, Rodriguez is in the next fight. My mistake. Pardon me. Praying right now. Sigma, yo, brother, we're all praying for Sigma right now. Correct, Rick Allen. That is correct. Oof, nice straight for Quan. Oh, good kick for Quan. Quan throwing. Bantamweights over here, smaller guys. Calling Vegas at the moment. There you go. Hit the red phone, TJF. Ooh, uh-oh. Diaz with a big shot. Sends Quan back. Oh, another one lands. Nice kick for Diaz. Two-way action. Ooh, Peru with some heavy hands. Oh, Quan reacting heavy to some of these shots. Body language not looking great. Diaz with some sharp boxing. Quan was looking good earlier, but the power of Diaz looks like it is taking over. Rip, who died? Malumba from the last fight is who died. Bang, bang. 2 for Diaz. 3, 4 for Diaz. Shots adding up for Diaz. Quan falling behind. Oh, another good one lands. Oh, combos working. Straight lands for Quan, but he's starting to fall behind in a significant way, I would say. Quan needs to get back on the stick here. Everything is flinging Quan. Yes, that is a good observation. That is very true. How are the dating apps going? Brother, I have not been on, my friend. I am too busy right now, although I actually might be on a little bit more because I did just finish up a big project at work. So I've got another project that's smaller that I still have to finish up, but working hard, getting stuff done, have not had time. But, I'll still swipe aimlessly. So I guess you could say I just haven't been matching a lot lately, but I haven't been swiping a ton. Ooh. TJF starting shit in the chat. What a surprise. Oof, two heavy ones again for Diaz. Quan just not blocking anything either, man. It's like he's got a high guard, but just everything keeps getting through. Oof, more good shots landing. Quan going for a spinning elbow that was nowhere to be found. Diaz clinching up now. Had to look that up, Rick, and discovered I am a product of miscegenation. Miscegenation. So that would make me miscegeneration. I guess so. These are words that even I don't use regularly. I guess technically I am too. I got a whole bunch of mixes of origins. Yeah, classic. Exactly, classic. It's almost like a foregone conclusion that question's getting asked every time that Rick's in the chat, but it's all good. I'll have a better answer for him one of these days. All right, good round one. Good for Diaz. I mean, Quan had a couple shots early, but Diaz pulling away with that one. TJF, well, I don't hate gay people, unlike you, because I'm not an ignorant person. There you go, Rick. Exactly. That's always kind of what I've felt about the two dads trolling. I'm all like, yeah, I mean, come on. It's slightly hack considering that we are in 2025. What would be so bad if Rick Allen did have two dads? That's a modern family. More fighters need to be as eager to get into beef as Rick or TJF. This is facts. This is definite facts. Yeah, Rick Allen will go into the chat fighting like Rahiki fought in that last fight. Rick is going to be so jealous when you tell him the dating apps are going well. I mean, well, they already have. I mean, I've had plenty of success on them before. I just don't care right now. I am not as obsessed with that area of life as others seem to be. I do not crave that form of human connection as much as others. I mean, really, if it, like the way that I look at it, I get all of what I need within my current structure of life. I've got a great family, which I'm very blessed for. I've got great friends, and I hang out in the chat here. Like, I mean, trust. I only say this because of this conversation, and I'm not trying to big myself up, but I've gotten plenty of pussy in my life. Like, I'm not hurting for pussy. So if that's the only thing I mean, a relationship should be a lot more than that. If that happens, I'll be happy for it. But aside from that aspect of it, I really get everything I need from my current makeup of my relationships. So I'm good. The answer is going to be the same for a while. Nothing wrong with having two dads. It's just inherently funny. It's like falling downstairs, man. Hydra constantly hitting nails directly on the head. True, exactly. It's really amazing to me that Hydra has such succinctly good takes as such a young man. Yeah, Hydra's about to be the president of Canada one day. chat beef can be tasty. I'm always down for it. It makes me laugh. Your face is inherently funny, Hydra. There you go. Quality comeback. Classic, I'd say, you know? I was watching the show Freaks and Geeks recently. I've been enjoying it to an extent. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, something that I have like a burning desire to watch, but every once in a while before I go to bed, I'll watch an episode of Freaks and Geeks just to kind of, you know, see it through. And there was one thing that did make me laugh pretty heavily on an episode. It was two people arguing, and one guy goes, "Could you get out of my face? You smell." I don't know, it's just a funny thing to say to a person. Still good work here for Diaz. This is definitely still both of these guys striking. It would seem that maybe knockout power not there for either of them, but volume striking certainly is. Voting Hydra for Yermachat president? I mean, this is something that I can endorse. You get the endorsement from the big man, you're in. And both these guys just trading shots back and forth. Shot, shot, shot. Quan landed a couple of decent ones himself. Still somewhat of a close fight. I think Quan's doing better in this round than he did in the first round. Diaz slowing down just a little bit. Still putting him on, though. Maybe Quan is scaling for late game. No, swing for the fences there. Yeah, I mean, they're right in each other's face. They are really close range. Just shot, 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 both sides. All right, 1 minute left in the round. Both these guys putting a lot into it. I'm just not seeing knockout power necessarily. You need it at bantamweight. Quan Wan. Quan Wan ill. The dude's got a bar for a name. Oh, that was a good shot for Quan. Oh, another nice counter for Quan. Counter left lands. This is even. This is probably going to be 1-1 going into the third. This is decent work. Quan, yeah, like I said, maybe scaling for late game. Succinct, reasonable. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Wow. Oh, my. That's a way to cap off a round with a late spinning elbow knockout for Diaz. Holy. That's Contender Series. Wow. Woo. Brother. That was wild work right there. Jeez Louise. Bang, bang, bang. Diaz is him. I mean, I guess it's hard to say that with a spinning elbow knockout, though, because how many times can you really replicate that? But right here, right now, let's look at this replay. Boom! Pulled the Yair Rodriguez versus Korean Zombie on him. Wow, Korea stays losing to spinning elbows. That is unfortunate, but true. Oh, god damn, the snap on that shot. That is a crazy audio clip right there. Shit sounded like a whip crack. Sean Shelby praising the Lord. I think that's Mick, actually, but either way. Wow. Yeah, second Jesus F. Christ, indeed. Knight Lavelle, the real Six rapper? Fuck Drake. Okay. I've never heard of Knight Lavelle. Throw something in the Discord. Year of the spinning elbow. That's facts. Yeah. Third big spinning elbow knockout of the year. That's wild, man. This might be the most creative finishes that we've seen on an episode of the Contender series. Definitely all year this year. We saw a Suliev stretch and a spinning elbow knockout in one night. This is some wild shit. Last two chances are A. Sigma, good luck, my friend. Why is it taking so long for fighters to realize elbows are OP? This is the new meta that's still evolving. So it starts off with the elbow even being thrown at all. For the longest time in this sport, the elbow was like a rarity, it feels like. I want to say that when I first started getting into the sport, somewhere in the ballpark of 16, 17 years ago, elbows were not as commonly used in creative ways. You'll see an elbow every once in a while, but it wasn't the way that it's used now, like those elbows at close range, elbows, the up down elbow. Obviously not a 12-6. I'm talking about the swiping down elbow. You didn't see a lot of creative elbow use, so that's just now becoming the meta. The spinning elbow could be the next evolution of it. And in that respect, Yair Rodriguez actually is a little bit of a pioneer, because that is almost to a T the same knockout that took out the Korean Zombie in that fight with Yair. There is no shot that heavyweight is getting a contract. That's 10,000% correct. Yes, those heavyweights were absolutely atrocious. And God bless them. God bless the UFC for trying, man, because they want heavyweights in this thing so bad, but they just all suck so bad. Oh, man. Man, I love my elbows, and that was perfectly timed. A thing of beauty. Indeed, Mr. Savage. Indeed. Yeah, well placed, well timed. Because really, to me, it's not even, like, yes, it's about the timing, obviously, but it's about the placement more for me. Because you can time the elbow nicely, but if you don't land it flush, you're not going to get the impact all onto the pressure points, onto the button, so to speak. So that really was everything that you need in a spinning elbow. It was perfectly timed, it was perfectly placed, and it was perfectly sped. The speed of the attack was perfect as well. Fantastic. Yeah, really, really sharp work. Hit with your elbows and block with your shoulders and arms. Strong bones defend and attack better than your hands. I mean, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Hard to defend with your shoulders if you're getting well-placed shots to the chin, but, good fighter will be able to let those shots roll off. Talk to Sean Strickland about a Philly shell. This dude has a big bald eagle on his chest. Is he secretly a based American? Is this Peruvian an undercover American patriot? Is there a Liberty safe behind that eagle? I can barely land a jab on someone who actually moves their head. Spinning finishes in the UFC always impress me so much. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's not about the it's not about, it is, like I said, it's not solely about the timing. It's about the placement and the speed. You have to have, for a spinning elbow to knock someone out, you have to have the trifecta of all three of those: timing, placement, and speed. If you do not have one of those three things, it will not work. So to be able to land it effectively enough for a knockout is definitely noteworthy. in a fight where, I mean, it was two-way action. I mean, Quan was landing. I had noted that I didn't think it looked like there was knockout power for either side of these guys. If you don't have the knockout power with jabs and hooks, knock him out with an elbow. And that is what Mr. Diaz did. So shout out to him, and contract definitely incoming. Just realized this is the last Yama stream of Dana White's Contender Series this year. Unfortunate, honestly. These are my favorite streams, brother. I am in the same boat. If I had my own way, this would be a year-round thing. I could watch Contender Series every week and be the happiest guy on the planet. And I'm just going to miss the more casual, vibey chat. Like, when I'm on the podcast, we're having the podcast style conversations. When I'm hanging out with Vitz King, it's a different vibe. I enjoy just being by myself with the chat every once in a while. So who knows? Maybe we'll make the Tuesday streams more of a regular thing. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to commit to that, but I guess that's what Fridays are for now. But either way, I enjoy this very much myself. So yeah, Contender Series, favorite time of the year. The Ultimate Fighter to a lesser extent, but Contender Series really is where it's at. So thank you for all you guys being here with me. And ladies, of course, shout out to Bex. Philly Shell works in kickboxing. I tried it today and everything slid off the shoulder. Strickland is entertaining. I mean, dude, if you can make it work, make it work. Just make sure that chin is tucked on top of the shoulder roll. You're in a good spot. Yeah, good for you. I can't wait to see you make your AMI debut, brother. Gotta let me know where I can watch. You need to just do Tuesday lives and we just talk MMA news and BS for like an hour. Well, that's what we're doing on Friday, though. But then again, it's me and Chase again. So it's like if you want the solo yams, I might just have to add the Tuesday in. Yama dates with Chad every Tuesday. I mean, if you guys are down, I'll definitely consider it. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. That's a lot of streaming during the week. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of video content on top of that, but I mean, I am a servant of the people. So if that is what you guys want, I'll think about it. I know you can't commit, but I'll be here Tuesdays if you hop on for whatever reason. And also, we have BKFC people. All hope isn't lost. Yeah, that's the that would be ideal. Ideally, like what I've thought about, if you want the inside baseball here, I've been low key considering just investing in Fight Pass and trying to just find random fights throughout the week. That might be the move. Because I enjoy actually watching fights in addition to chatting. So, like, if I could have fights playing and sort of do, like, the dual commentary / chat thing, that might be cool for Tuesdays. But then I got to find a promotion that puts fights on Tuesday. So, that's what's tough about the fight game. Generally, Fridays and Saturdays are going to be the bread and butter. You got to let me know when you fight Sigma. That's yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same. As I have always said to Sigma and anyone else who hangs out in this chat, if you are fighting in a fight, amateur or professional, and it is streamed somewhere on the internet, I will be watching. Hook your boy up with the link, and I will watch and commentate and cheer you on. You will have a full cheering section right here at Yama. That's a promise. Especially now that I work for myself. Before I had said, I'll take work off for it. And still, I would technically have to be doing that. But I will. So, you let me know. I will be there. All right, Freddie Vidal. I can't believe that the Contender Series has flew by yet again. Hey, John Dong, there you go. What's up, brother? How are you? Taking a break from your alt account? Appreciate that. How have you been liking these Contender Series fights? Excuse me. I can never have you watch my fight if I do. What if Rick Allen clips me getting slimed out? I mean, brother, that's the risk that you take getting into a fight in the first place, right? I gotta, I gotta give Rick Allen his props if he ends up winning his fight, right? Good. How about you, brother? I am great. I am slightly, it's bittersweet today, as I had said earlier in the stream. On the one hand, I'm feeling awesome. We've been having a great chat tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out. The fights have been insane. I mean, like, aside from that one fight, but aside from that, I mean, the fact that we saw a Suliev stretch tonight is just mind blowing to me. So I mean, a Suliev stretch and a spinning elbow knockout. Like, this has been a fantastic way to close out this Contender series. But at the same time, I'm sad because I love Contender series and I don't want it to end. If Rick Allen clips you, Hydra, I'll get it back in blood for you. Hey, TJF going for the get back. Just sleep Rick and record and post that as payback if he clips you. Okay. You turned your $5 into 19. That's money. That is legit money, my friend. I don't know if any of the dogs have cashed tonight. Honestly, I think I'm shit out of luck on this one, but that's okay. Oh wait, no, I guess not. Some dogs did cash. I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, we are almost breaking even. Yeah, we're down $1 right now. Juan Diaz cashes to get us almost right. So if this dog comes through on this fight, who's the dog here? Who are we rooting for? Oh, we're rooting for Freddie Vidal. Come on, Freddie Vidal. Come on, Freddie. Also, Sigma, not for nothing, but it does seem like all you do is pick favorites. I'm just saying. Because a lot of what I'm seeing in your picks are all the favorites. And you gotta know, Contender Series is where anything can happen. So Yamamoto is in effect. A bittersweet ending. I know, man. I know. I really wish that they would, like, Chase has been saying that they should do like 2 seasons of the Contender Series every year, like do a winter and summer or something like that, spring and fall or whatever. I'd be cool with that. I think they could possibly do it year round. But I do recognize that there are only so many fighters on the planet. So, like, maybe you don't have enough talent to justify that. I think that we just have to be comfortable and happy with what we get and leave it at that. So, you enjoy it while it's here. You anticipate it till it comes back. It's like the McRib in that way, Enjoy it while it lasts, and then when it's gone, you wait for it to come back. Kind of a apt comparison. Freddie Vidal, of course, is a Cerro Longo product. Ray Longo in the back there. One of the best in the biz. Nothing wrong with picking the favorites, but I understand what you're saying. TJF, specifically on Contender Series, though. That's my point. Is that any other time, any other fight, it makes a lot more sense. You have a lot more high-level competition where the previous tape matters more. Contender Series is where you throw everything out the window. That's why the motto. You know what we're going to be putting on the Yama merch when it comes out. You're going to be seeing a baby blue text on a black shirt with, one white accent lettering that says, small money, straight bets, all dogs. Put the Yama logo on there in, I don't know, white. I'm a graphic designer, if you didn't know.
Vidal looks to be in way better shape. Yes, that is true. He looked very blobby in his last fight. Of course, he was on short notice in his last one. Freddie Vidal, if you have not been keeping up, fought earlier this season. This is his redemption attempt. We will see if he can pull it off. Ray Longo in the corner, so is the Asian guy from Aljo's podcast. Yes. Well, that Aljo is a Sarah Longo guy, of course, as well. Sarah Longo graduates champions. Yeah, they're commenting about how different he looks. You know, trims up. Hopefully he beasts in this fight. Go get it, Freddie. Trading low kicks. Of course, they are fighting light heavyweight. Year-long Contender Series, once a month, 8-fight cards. I'm down with that. I am definitely down with that. I would also be okay with year-round shorter cards. Do it every week with 4 fights. Do every week with 3 fights even. I know it'd be short and I know it wouldn't be as satisfying, but I'd still be okay with it. It's not goated. I choose dogs like Pinas. Okay, well, that was a good call then. All right, Vidal clinching up. Can he get this takedown? If he ends up getting this takedown, he was decent off of his back. I mean, not off of his back, but on the ground, rather. When that shirt drops, I'm going to over-explain Contender Series betting to theory to all the hoes. There you go. Yes. That is the opposite of scaring the hoes. The Deep Lore Yama Contender Series betting shirt is what they call a hoe magnet. What an unfortunate last name, or is it the most based goat last name? If you can walk around with that last name and knock people out if they fuck with you, I think it's kind of Chad. I think it is kind of a Chadly move. Penis, like penis. Boom. Shut the fuck up. Then he just smiles at him because Pinas has such a great personality. I like that guy, dude. Yeah, that guy was cool. Him and Canadian homie. I forget his name off the top of my head, but that the older guy from Canada. I liked him too. I know it's short and isn't as satisfying, but I'm okay with it. Need a girl I think her for real. Well said. Uh-oh. Ooh, Levi clipped him. Oh, Vidal panic shooting now. Hold on for dear life, Vidal. Let's see if he can fight through it. Off topic, but your fish are breeding. What kind of fish do you have? I didn't know you had a fish tank. All right, yeah, Vidal back to his feet. Oh, knee drops him. He's done. He's done. Mark, wait, yeah. All right, Rodriguez gets it. R.I.P., Mr. Vidal. Thanks for coming back. There's the door. Yeah, on topic. Nice knockout for Vidal. Nice knee. There you go. Talk about the variety here. Talk about variety for this season of the Contender Series. We saw in one episode, Suliev stretch, spinning elbow knockout, decision win, knee knockout. And then whatever the hell the other ones were, I forget. Yeah, first round knockout for Mr. Rodriguez. Good deal. Perfect 6 for 6. What? I thought you said that your picks weren't coming through. That's it, so it's over. Yes, TJF, indeed that is the case. Indeed that is the case. But at least we got a nice finish to cap it off. This has been a great, talk about a really quality card to end this series here, to end this season. Oh, on your Tapology picks. Then why didn't you put your Tapology picks on the parlay, dude? Guess I'll goon and go to bed. Deny yourself the goonage, my friend. Sigma ends the season on a high note. I love it. Where are you ranked now? Did you get back into the top 15? You suck at betting? Well, if you're that good at picking on Tapology, just take the picks and put them on there. All right. Levy Rodriguez. There's that HR action. I do respect going to bed early, though. Not something that I ever do. Also, I tried switching to a different energy drink, and it ain't hitting the same way. I'm gonna have to tell you. I switched to a sugar-free energy drink, thinking, oh, the caffeine will be enough. All it did was I had one at Vitzking's house at one point, but I had also had a Red Bull earlier in the day. So I was like, oh, maybe this other energy drink could be like a good replacement for Red Bull because I'm putting on a lot of unnecessary calories with Red Bull. But after trying out this other energy drink that is sugar-free, it ain't hitting the same way. It ain't hitting. I drank 2 of them, 2 12-ounce cans. That's 400 milligrams of caffeine. That was crazy. I ended up with a headache. Red Bull Zero, maybe. I'll have to give it a shot sometime. I should have had it. My friend got one for me one time, and I was like, I don't like the sugar-free. I just kind of out of pocket just said, I was like, nah, I don't want it. I should have tried it. That was my mistake. You'll watch the signings? How could you leave before the signings, bro? Come on. That's as much a part of this as anything, in my opinion. Going to bed early is so silly. I'll just stay up till 3 a.m. before all my 8 a.m. classes and pass out in my car afterwards. That's what we call young privilege. But, I mean, yeah, ride it out till you can't ride it out anymore, Hydra. I used to be the same way. Now I just stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning and then overcompensate with ridiculous amounts of caffeine in energy drinks that are ravaging my internal organs. Man, I was over 2 minutes behind, so I had to pause you. Damn, 2 minutes behind. That's crazy. When you said they're clinching up, my stream showed the dude getting Vaseline on. Oh, wow. Now you're caught back up after that beatdown. Great card is right, Savage. Great card is right. Absolutely. What a quality way to end this thing, man. I love the Contender series, bro. I feel like every week I say the same thing, but it's so applicable, especially on this episode. Good Lord. We had one fight and one bad week. Week 1 and that fight from before. From earlier in this card. There were a couple other ones that were like not great, whatever, but like overall, I mean, come on. If you are so jaded to great fights that you're nitpicking the bad ones, then it shows how great the quality level is of the fights on the Contender series. Red Bull Iced Vanilla Berry is the best flavor. Dude, you want to know what with that? Vitzking really likes all of the crazy flavors. I have tried a number of them. Regular Red Bull is always what I go back to. It is always my favorite. It is the most peak energy drink I have ever tasted. And I am certainly open to trying new ones. I am wanting to find the thing that could be the next Red Bull for me, but until I find it, I'm always going back to the OG. Definitely going to miss Contender Series till next season for sure. Yeah, next go around, I want to figure something out for the Contender Series. Like I got to have maybe a celebration of some sort for the end of the Contender Series, cuz I had talked about that earlier in the week, but I couldn't figure out what I would do. What's a good way to celebrate the end of the Contender Series? Cuz I'm telling you, I look at the Contender Series like a religious season. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Muslims celebrate Ramadan. I celebrate Contender Series 10 weeks. Mark my words, Marab is beating Jan in the rematch. Ulsik him. Bro, yeah, I mean, I think that that's the case. And if he does, that's going to be Marab as the GOAT of that division for sure. So, um, I think Piotr has been making some good strides towards being championship level again, but Marab is on a level that I don't think anybody in the division can reach. So I would agree with you. Damn, did this not save me? LOL. 120 ranked on Tapology. Hey, top 200 is still pretty good. I mean, I don't know how many people are on the list, but I would suspect it's probably in the high thousands. So top 250, that's pretty damn good. Probably because all the favorites win. Yeah, well, this go around they did. I'm telling you that the Yama method is often foolproof until it isn't. I don't care, bro. I almost broke even. I lost $1. That's a fine day to me. Actually, I think 2 technically, but still, I'm okay with it. This Tapology Contender Series leaderboard ain't no game. You got to be ready to put your life on the line. Get it, Sigma. Started at 12 and ended at 120. I mean, you can, bro. You'll get the get back. You'll be back. Next year is your year. 120 on Tapology, but number 1 in my heart. There you go. Same here. That's some homie shit right there. That's why TJF is championship level. Iced Vanilla Berry Bro Trust. I think I've had that. I think I've had it. Only Red Bull I like other than watermelon. Watermelon would be my second favorite of them. I liked watermelon. The Red Bull tier list to me goes original, watermelon, dragon fruit, everything else. Yama method patched, yo. Could be at least this year. But the same way that next year is Sigma's year to get back into that top 15 on Tapology next year. Mark my words. Small money, straight bets, all dogs. Get money. That's the motto. Coconut Red Bull? Ugh, bro, that sounds disgusting, dude. Unless it doesn't taste like coconut. Unless it's coconut in name only. Because I am not a fan of coconut flavored things most time. It takes a very specific flavor profile for coconut to work. You want to know the one coconut flavored thing that is goated that no one talks about? Because I just don't think that they know about it. Coconut Ferrero Rocher. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get hip to game. You can only get it in the big box Ferrero Rocher. You get the big box Ferrero Rocher. It comes with, I think, 12 of them. 16. Four, and 4. Right? No, that is 12. My bad. So, yeah, 12. Comes in a pack of 12. You got original, you got dark chocolate, and you got coconut. The Ferrero Rocher multi-pack. That the coconut in there is fantastic. But other than that. All right. Contract time. Yeah, nothing. No, easy one for Wes Schultz. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Suliev stretch. If this dude didn't get a contract, I would quit Yama. All right, no contract for the heavyweights. Everything is going according to plan. Oh, yeah, Oliveira with the knockout, too. Yes. Bingo. All right. Michael Oliveira gets a contract as well. Good deal. Yeah, I forgot about him. That was a good one. He's got a really good stature. The way that he carries himself. Oh, yeah, and Rahiki. Yeah, this dude fighting through the fire and the flames for an elbow knockout plus the uppercut. It was the uppercut that did it, but those elbows started it. Yeah. All right. Rahiki gets the contract. He was recording Dana on his phone while he was having the announcement made. That's how confident he was. Good deal. He deserved it. He was great. Shout out to Morocco. Dana is gracious enough to put even the pay-per-views online just for free on a bunch of websites. Dana saying that if Rodriguez's spinning elbow isn't the highlights of ESPN, then ESPN is full of shit. And apparently Dana was talking shit about ESPN last week as well. Chase was mentioning that on the podcast. God damn, Dana roasting Freddie Vidal. Yeah, that bum Freddie laying on the fence. Not Chad Vidal or whatever, or Chad Rodriguez, Chad Levy going in there, getting the job done. Get over here, kid. You got it in a contract. Good deal. Everyone who deserved a contract got a contract. I love it. Red Bull Blue number 2. The blue one's pretty good. I'd put that actually on the list as well. Those are so gas. Talking about Ferrero Rochers. Yes, they are fucking delicious. One of my favorite. I'm not a big chocolate guy, but if I'm gonna eat chocolate, Ferrero Rocher is the way to go. You're right. I don't know what those are. Yeah, you have to get it in the multi-pack. I thought Ferrero Rocher was so expensive when I was a kid because we only got them at Christmas and they came in gold. Yeah, they present like they're like this high class candy, but it's not. I mean, it is maybe a little more expensive, but you're paying for the dress up of it. They like tried to like present it as this opulent, indulgence, but really it's just dope ass candy, and it's one of the few coconut flavored things that actually slaps. They're so good. Definitely some of the better chocolate you can buy. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I think Schultz gets torched in his first fight. I think that you're probably on the right track with that. There's no way he's pulling off a fucking Suliev stretch in the UFC. I mean, that's not going to happen. There's no way. But we saw someone get close to a setup of it not too long ago. I do remember that because that's where I like mentally noted. I was like, when the hell have we ever seen that before? But that type of thing, that's definitely another one where it's like, we're really going to have to see what he's actually made of. He got a very good win here, but how does it translate to the actual organization? That remains to be seen. You don't want UFC anymore. You don't deserve the shit talk. I don't know what that's in reference to. Oh, the ESPN. Yeah, for real. Ha ha. Chad Paramount Plus. My fish are so fat, I need to stop feeding them. Well, you can overfeed fish, and it can be very detrimental to their health. So, yeah, be careful with that. ESPN is shit, so they deserve the trash talk. I mean, hey, you let the greatest sport and the greatest sports organization fall through your fingers, so joke's on you, ESPN. Go ahead and have all of your football fans, all your basketball and baseball and blah, blah, fucking blah. I know where I'm going to be going, and I know what I'm going to be doing. What I'm going to be doing is canceling my ESPN subscription come November. My subscription ends in November. I will pay for the single month for December to get myself into January, and from there, Adios, bon voyage to ESPN and your absolutely atrocious streaming platform because I cannot stand ESPN Plus. Sleep tight and don't let the big bugs bite. Yes, TJF, thank you very much for hanging out, my man. Fat shaming fish in 2025. I can't believe you, Sigma. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll stick around. Since this is the last week, we'll stick around for the post-fight interviews. See if anybody says anything interesting. Didn't see anybody with like an amazingly standout personality necessarily, but, keep our ears open. But yes, thank you, TJF. Thank you very much to everybody who's hung out tonight. Appreciate all you guys. You guys crushing tonight in the chat. Very enjoyable. I am going to miss our Tuesday streams together. All right, mild-mannered Michael Oliveira. Nothing too out of left field with him. All right, Marwan. Moroccan devil over here, just like Yusuf Salal. Yeah, he might have had the absolute best performance overall on the show this week. Oh, absolutely, Hydra. I appreciate you guys, man. It is a great blessing in my life to be able to hang out, watch the sport that I love with cool people. And as you know, Yama has the best chat in all of mixed martial arts streaming. Don't get it twisted. For real, Hydra wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You guys rule, bro. You guys rule. Although TJF, I have heard that you hang out with that floozy Chase Parton. Acceptable, though. Acceptable. I will certainly let that go. I, of course, am kidding. Always support the homie Chase. Always support Chase Parton. That is the homie. Especially on those Friday streams. And I'm not even just saying it to support Chase. Watch the one cards. Like, I'm telling you, every Friday that I have the ability to, I love watching those one cards, bro. One Championship has fights on Friday morning and Friday nights. One Championship crushing the game. He's your state neighbor. That is true. That is definitely true. Shout out to Cincinnati, Ohio for Mr. Parton. And I believe that you are in Indianapolis, Indiana. Am I right about that? Pretty cool. That's good stock out there. That's America. That's the heart of America. We need to heat up the Thinker versus Chase rivalry. Left Twix versus right Twix style? Nah. I got nothing but love for my boy Chase Parton. Not Indy, but close enough. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was Indiana at least. All right, well, whatever city in Indiana that you are in, shout out to that city. Left Twix is better. I mean, I am left-handed, so obviously that trends. That goes in the right direction. Happy for both Brazilians. Yes, Rafaiuski. Brazil continuing to be well represented in this sport. You know that that's always true. We had a Peruvian, now we got a Brazilian. Oh, you're left-handed too? Yeah, we're in the minority there. Out of love, tell him to stop shortening his name to CP. Brother, trust that he is aware of that. I think he does it on purpose at this point. It certainly makes Vitz King laugh. Right-handed, but I shoot a hockey stick left. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I play all sports right-handed, actually. It's very strange. I write left-handed. I play sports right-handed. Fight right-handed. Orthodox stance. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We all love CP. How could you not? I always try to catch the one fights. Love the Muay Thai cards, brother. Muay Thai is on a next level, dude. Honestly, if Chase was not streaming the one fights, I probably would be too. I'll let Chase Parton have that. He's got a big audience overseas. A lot of support from Thailand and Myanmar and Laos and that area. So I'm not going to step on my boy's toes, but I certainly would love to be watching more One Championships. So I try to do that with him when I can. And even their BJJ fights are pretty good. Not, like that's what I love about One. You get Muay Thai, BJJ, kickboxing, and MMA. Yeah, Muay Thai is the best. Muay Thai is definitely my favorite individual martial art. Rafayuski, have a great night, everyone. Pretty late here. See you guys this Saturday, brother. Appreciate you, Rafayuski. Thank you very much for hanging out. Come and chill with us all on Saturday. We got fights in Vancouver, Canada. How about that? You get to see Cutie Pie, Jasmine, Jazz Devicious. What more could you want? Super happy about this. All right. That's all of the post-fight. They're about to wrap up the Contender series, so I guess we're about to wrap up this stream. I don't want it to end. It's so much fun. It's such a great time always. I love it so much, but, as always, all good things must come to an end. They're showing a stat right here, though, but right before we end up, the most finishes and tied for most contracts in a single Contender Series season. This might have been one of the best seasons of the Contender Series in the history of the 9 years of the show. So glad that we could hang for all 10 weeks of it together. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you as always. Just to get the plugs out of the way, keep an eye out on the channel. I do have a video that I teased that I think I'm going to try to get done tomorrow night if I have the time for it. Should be a shorter one, but an interesting one to me at least. Probably not going to do numbers on the channel, but I still think it'll be worthwhile. So, more content coming out. I actually am thinking about possibly doing the Sneaky Sunday stream this week, and I have a specific reason for that. So I'm just giving you a little bit of the teases. I can't commit to anything just yet, but keep an eye on the channel. So possibly a video maybe out tomorrow night, maybe an extra stream on Sunday. Always something going on. And of course on Friday, we're probably locked in. So make sure that you're around on Friday. A whole lot of Yama content coming out for you. So keep an eye on the channel as always. We've got the next episode of MMA on Film will be coming out soon. Me and Chase are working out the time frame. We've already got the film selected, so the next installment of our film review series will be coming out soon. And other than that, again, always new and interesting stuff. Trying to keep it good variety for you guys. So hopefully you're enjoying that. And as always, I appreciate you. So everybody who has hung out tonight, you guys rule. Thank you very much for that. Great Contender series, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Saturday. And as always, fight on.
Game.